That's harassment. Yeah, Dyadic Shore, probably. All right, lads. We got a lobby up. Yeah, it's double brain cells, not single. So if it says mode, it's not the release thing. All right, homies, we are live for Weekend War. We are getting ready. I see Shamblers here. I see Toyota's here. I see Luciferius is here. Happy almost birthday. I see Biddy B is here. I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with. I, just like before, do have the Discord audio piping into my ears. And that's it. That's my role here. I'll tell you guys all about what's happening. We got some Korean in the chat. A classic move. They're talking about the map. Nah, dude, you're thinking of biggest game hunters. That's the max map size. Bigger game hunters is just big game hunters, but Cosmo. I had to clarify that. Its release, double brain cells. Weekend War is always release. Bloodgum. Okay, we have here today a group of friends, a group of frauds. Toyota was making pancakes, and now here he is. Let's see if our homies are ready for faction wars. Alright, we got 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R, 6R. Who are we missing? Ah, there we go. Alright, we're ready. GLHF. We got it. All right. Homie time. Homie time. Ah, Jimmy typed R, but he wasn't ready. Oh, no. Somebody has to hit him up how to pick. He forgot how to pick. Somebody forgot how to pick. You can pick faction wars, you know? You can pick from factions. It's great. All right. So as usual, I'm going to have to... I'm gonna have to guess based on the portraits, right? I'm gonna have to guess based on the portraits here. All right. So this 7-player FFA on BGH. It's Faction Wars, Cause Monarchy. We got AOT in the top left. He's apparently playing as the regular old Taltreth Tendril, so he will not have any custom faction names or units. He is in the top left as our Japanese Violet Zerg. At 12 o'clock, we have Raynarel as our Dark Sapphire Terran, and he is playing Hekaton Coalition. In the top right, we have none other than This Is Jimmy as the Purple Terran, and he has selected the Golden Republic. He is making a Fulcrum already. He wants to make his aspirants and get them out on the field. Meanwhile, Tudor lurks at the 3 o'clock position, maybe 4 o'clock position, because BGH isn't balanced at all. And I think he might be the chestnut? No, burnt umber. Okay, burnt umber Protoss. We'll try to remember that color for later. And he is the Calendric Knights. So he will have access to the Calendric Ecclesiasts as well as the Ashguard instead of the Hierophant. So down in the bottom right, we have none other... Oh, no, this is the bottom middle. Hold on. We'll come to you later. Bottom right, we got Toyota Miguel. He seems to be... Is he like Aerolide or Brass, maybe? I guess Aerolide, but I'm pretty sure that's not the right color. It's Lemon. The Lemon Terran in the bottom right. That's not Nebline. He is playing as... Oh, wait. This is Futurists, not Hekaton. I was wrong about that. This is Hekaton. There you go. So he is the Hekaton Terran, and Raynarel is our Futurist Federation Terran, and the 12 o'clock. 3Crow just found out that the Matrix is a new graphic. So 3Crow is also going to be the Calendric Knights. He seems to be Sunglow? Sunglow Protoss at 6 o'clock. And already finding a couple of workers is Hit 'em Up, a.k.a. Cruelty and the Beast. He is playing as the Calendric Knights as well, and he is our... It's not Cyan. Is this Eggshell Blue? Eggshell Blue Protoss. Oh, and it seems like Raynarel's already in shambles because our AOT has found him with Zethrakors. But the Futurist Mavericks are here. They have no stim pack, but they're pretty powerful. He needs to get him in. Get him in! Yeah, bop him. Bop him with your powerful Maverick. Your A-move tool. All right, well, an Ashguard has arrived from Hit 'em Up, and he's trying to work down that Matrix. Oh, it might be good. Oh, he's telling the Matrix it's unpowered. It'll die in a moment. The Ashguard is out. He's having a good time with this. Oh, how unfortunate. He's stolen his Draconin! Hit 'em Up doesn't even know what it does. Hit 'em Up is only now realizing it. We've got Tudor coming up here with his Calendric Ecclesiast, see if he can maybe get some attack speed boost versus This Is Jimmy, who's only got 2 military units out. I think Jimmy might actually be out of here very early on. He's lost his Aspirant. Meanwhile, I don't know what happened over here, but it looks like maybe the attack has been reposted from Hit 'em Up, and Tudor is falling back. The 1 HP Vulture. Okay, I don't know what happened there to zone him away. Meanwhile, Raynarel, by the way, has like no workers whatsoever. He's having a hard time of it. Don't worry. At least there's the Mavericks are going to come back here and see if they can hide underneath it. Unfortunately, that one does not go all the way back, and so that will be a little bit unfortunate for Raynarel. It looks like that's a wrap for him. He has been rushed down. He's got to go ahead and lift off, see if he can find greener pastures somewhere else. Meanwhile, triple Ashguard for Mr. Hit 'em Up. He is rocking with the new Matrix graphic, courtesy of Delta. Ignore the shadow. It's messed up, and I forgot to fix it. Give me your units, he says, charging forward. Yeah, I am going to go ahead and say that 3Crow is eating the dirt here. He could have made his own Ashguards, by the way. That would have been an opportunity, but instead he's on the struggle bus. He doesn't realize how expensive they are. 3Crow already rage quitting. I think the first unit is the first player to die is out. 3Crow's gone. See ya. It's so funny they picked the same faction, but 3Crow just didn't know he could make the units himself. Well, Rainarel somehow outlived his competition a little bit. And yeah, that is kind of the fate of what happens. And that's that is kind of what happens when you play against Hit 'em Up here. So that, you know, Three Crow's talking about it. Rainarel's talking about how he died. Yep. Okay, we got the comms in. So at this point, I heard earlier Jimmy trying to negotiate with Tudor. I don't know if that they will form an alliance. He was also complaining about his dog, because I guess that's what Jimmy does. He has a dog, and the dog needs Jimmy. Everybody needs Jimmy. Now, Hit 'em Up hasn't taken an expansion and actually saturated it yet. He's also adding a Nexus to add more workers, and Toyota Miguel is spying on him with his airlifted watchdog. So Tudor's Kabbalist is moving through, and it might end up getting a little bit of value here, attacking into Toyota's main base. We'll see what happens there. One dead Mason. Two dead Mason. Oh, okay. Is there going to be a third dead Mason? Well, here comes the single Cyclops to help kill all the Masons. Yes! Yes, Toyota! Murder every Mason you own to kill the Kabbalist with your Cyclops. It's beautiful. He's got no static detection. He's going to need to see if he can wrangle that. Could add a lodestone. Right now he's just kind of following the Kabbalist around and see how long Tudor can hold it out for. I thought maybe he would just be dead there, but turns out no. He's definitely getting a lot of lost mining time out of this position. Meanwhile, 3 Skithricors arrive. Toyota, land your watchdog and form an alliance. Art of Turtle already heckling Hit 'em Up. Where are all his Ash Guards? He moved all the way up to the top left and got held at an arm's length. Stole 1 Quasilisk for the trouble. And now all of his scribes have stopped mining. They're huddled around the natural choke. You know, somebody builds air units, ban them. Defeat them. Tudor making quite a lot of value, but it looks to me like right now he's floating a little bit of money after using his Kabbalist versus Toyota. The Skithricors, meanwhile, are doing a little bit of damage. That Matrix is in a nice position to help out the lower part, but this one is not going to finish making. Oh no, they're all stacked up! Oh, that could have been a glorious defeat. But instead, the Skithricors will be temporarily annexed. Oh, I thought those were only 3 Skiths, but apparently there were 4 the whole time. Matrix will finish up. Looking spiffy. Hit 'em Up saying, okay, I guess I'm turtling now. And I'm not sure if that means turtling or killing Art of Turtle. I don't know which. 2 Skithricors are going to fly over to see Toyota's base. He's built a lot of watchdogs, so I guess he's safe from the Skithricors. He's like, I saw what happened to Hit 'em Up. That's not going to happen to me. We have a little bit of value here from Tudor on the expansion, but not that much saturation, actually. Meanwhile, Jimmy playing, he's actually leaking his audio over so everybody knows the composition that he has. He is boasting the Golden Republic Blackjacks. They have shields, a little bit more durability. Just kind of a statistical adjustment, but the shields make a pretty big difference because those don't get counted for damage to the passive, right? Wear and tear. Rainarel is still in the game. He is kind of the specialist of being almost knocked out and then coming back. Tier 2 is now on the way for Art of Turtle. So he's looking pretty spiffy on one base. We've got another ministry coming up for Toyota, so he's going to look to either make workers with it, totally valid strategy. As we can see, we already have Hit 'em Up queuing up a ridiculous number of them. Looks like Milestone just joined the Discord chat, so he might be able to give us some comms as well, even though he's not in the game. He can speak for Toyota. Toyota's not in here, right? So. All right, it's a little bit of a, shall we say, a stalemate. Right? But Jimmy is going to lurk forward. He has only 2 phalanxes, but he does not want to just kind of face tank this army. It's really powerful, especially if those Ecclesiasts get in on the action, because they will, unlike the normal Ecclesiast, which does shield restore, the Calendric Ecclesiast gives you attack speed, because the Calendric Knights are all about just smashing the enemy, right? Looks like we now have Toyota posturing to potentially do some damage versus the Ashguard heavy Hit 'em Up comp. He doesn't have that much economy behind this, so, you know, the 1 Phalanx is pretty nice for spreading out the damage. The Cyclops are going to help out as well. This 1 Hurakan could get into it, but unfortunately for Toyota, he's going to end up losing a lot of his army. That being said, he will still be able to soften up and kill these Ashguards. They're very expensive units. That's something that Hit 'em Up was mentioning to 3 Crow. So he kills the Phalanx, and so it kind of prevents the siege from being the choice. Now we've got what surely is going to have to be the final stand for Rainarel. He needs to huddle around this last anchor and repair it with everything he's got, and I don't think he's going to be able to. Only with a small bevy of Mavericks, it's not going to stave off the assault. And he's going to have to try to lift off again. He's got a little bit of money in the bank, so he might be able to get out of it. But maybe at this point, yeah, he just says GG's. Kind of hands off the keyboard kind of thing. And so that's a wrap. Jimmy expressing some discontent, some perhaps like fear. Toyota now trying to take over the middle of the map. By the way, Tudor has tier 3. He's got his Unitary Union pumping out Unars. Feels like at that point we're going to be able to see him overtake some of these Terran neighbors that he's got. The sole Zerg representative of the lobby, Art of Turtle, claims a soul. And now Tudor pushing out with his army. Toyota just took this base, and it might be taken from him by force. He's got the one phalanx on this side. Very nice distance between it and everything else in this army, but there's no front line to keep them at bay. The Ecclesiasts really powerfully providing a lot more in terms of attack speed. That's going to crack through the Goliaths, as reinforced as they are, as helpful as the Shamans were for that particular reason. And, it's funny, Tudor playing the style completely differently, ignoring the Ashguard, just using the Calendric Ecclesiasts for that. And, well, a couple of Goliaths will pop out there and slow things down a little bit. At the same time, Jimmy has started tier 2, so he's going to keep it rolling with that. Has Toyota gotten tier 2? I don't think so. It doesn't look like he has. He's got a lot of anchors coming up over here. And overall, I'm seeing, pretty fortified position out of Tudor. I don't think he's liable to die anytime soon because, Jimmy made a bunch of phalanxes, but his unit positioning hasn't necessarily been the best. And he's also going to have to contend with Art of Turtle pretty soon here. We've got Gosvalets coming in force to try to take over this 12 o'clock position. Only now taking this expansion as well at kind of the same time. And there's the Atlas for Toyota. Nebline approved position there in the natural, in the most harassable position by air. We've got more static defense warping in for Hit 'em up. Pushing further forward into the natural of the artist formerly known as Three Crow. Asiliants are out as well. Yeah, some of the tier 3 robo. And this is where you're really starting to sweat if you see this kind of thing warping in. The Ancestral Archives, the Crucible, coming in hot for our Protoss at the 4 o'clock position. Overall, though, with some of the extra add-ons and the production for Toyota, he should be able to hold on versus any one army. But if you start adding in more, that's where it gets a bit spooky. I actually think that Hit 'em Up is kind of memeing with the Ashguards. Like, a couple of them are pretty nice, but you want to incorporate them as pieces of an army because they debuff targets, and then when those targets take fatal damage, they temporarily annex over. Like Toyota, or rather Tudor's army is much better than what Hit 'em Up has because he's only got a few Ashguards to, pick high priority targets. Meanwhile, everything else is still going to be hitting way harder because the Ashguard doesn't have the most DPS. Like, obviously it can overwhelm units in small numbers, but you can kind of think of the Hierophant as doing the same kind of thing, just in a different way. So the Atlases are complete for our tier 2 Terran players. Obviously the Irelaris has been complete for some time. What is the transition out? It looks like Stargates are going to be the move for Hit 'em Up. We'll see what the number is for this real quick. It must be Jimmy. Although player 3 is apparently Toyota, so I don't know. Who is 7? All right, anyway, it looks like one aspirant scouts out and sees what's happening over there. All right, he's going to charge forward here. Jimmy trying to take matters into his own hands and see what he can make happen. I don't know. He's going to have to push forward a little bit further with the phalanxes, I feel like. His Blackjacks are doing very nicely with those extra shields. Clerics helping out on the front, but they are going to be overwhelmed. Charlatans helping for Tudor to just duplicate the attacks very, very nicely. At the same time, though, oh boy, Hit 'em Up is engaging, and that is going to be a pretty big splinter. Tudor not going to be able to survive. His army will be cleaned. His natural claimed. And there's still a decent amount of, Jimmy units here, but the problem is that, Hit 'em Up decided to add in some chaff. It's not pure Ashguard anymore. The Zealots absorbing so much damage. The Ashguards are kind of getting wiped, though. And look at this, Toyota getting aggroed in the middle of it all. He's going to push forward himself with a whole host of anchors and phalanxes. The endgame tech, including an Obtecton coming up for Tudor. That should help him wipe what's over here. But look at this, AOT has committed to the fight. He's now going to come in and kind of curb stomp the leftover forces that Jimmy had. And I think this is going to be a wipe for our Purple Terran player. Purple Zerg now beats Purple Terran. Wouldn't you think? That this is a certified free-for-all moment, boys. Jimmy says, oh no, Protathalors. And Protathalors do say, fuck you. And they are now eating him. Oh, they're going to need to kind of remax. They're taking a step further. Poor Jimmy. He's not long for this world. So we got an engram in a more defensive position there for Tudor. It looks like Hit 'em Up's army was reset a little bit, and now it will be Toyota stepping forward. I don't know what happened there. Hit 'em Up made a sound, and now he's got Auroras coming in to heckle AOT. He's trying to kill the Spire. Okay. Yep, that sounds like Hit 'em Up. Just a very annoying heckling position here for the Goliath. Oh, hey, what's up, Zen Master? I remember you. Hit 'em Up is issuing a war cry. You should stream Hit 'em Up. It's too bad none of the other players stayed in the game, right? Because we don't have Rainaril or the other guy. 3Crow. They left the game instead of spectating. So I can't get one of their POVs. I'm definitely out. So I think it might have just been one of those total ones. But Jimmy's complaining about Uptecton, so maybe it's just me. It might just be my POV. This. Well, my POV is definitely broken. At least it's entertaining seeing one Gladius kill Infinity Masons in the middle of the map. Who's asking? No, you've got your natural died, but you're back and just have a bunch of units idling in your main base. Yeah. I think we all decided to go to different towns for this. Hey, Toyota made a Chilin. Shout out Toyota. Oof. Everyone is dead. Only I live. Yeah. Depends on which kind of air unit. If you're talking about closer range, you can definitely get away with Archons or Pariahs. But if you're talking about longer range, I would recommend Unars to snipe them. If it's both long range and stack, then that's probably where you need like Didact Stasis to help you or something like that. Yeah, they're going somewhere else. You're broken. Nerf you. See you later, Jimmy. It's pretty impressive that of all things is synced. That's very impressive to me. All right, I'll rehost. We got a rematch. What's really funny is I didn't ever spectate a game of Faction Wars where I also had the ability to pick a faction as a witness, so I thought that was really funny. Well, there you go, Milestone. No, I would select my faction, but it wouldn't do anything. It's just the buttons that appear on my command card. Well, Art of Turtle, well, you picked a Taltrith Tendril, which is the default, so that's why. AOT didn't realize he picked a normal one. Yeah, that you got by the lore. That's all right. So it looks like we got some new homies. GLHF, remember to, Three Crow was complaining about the Ashguard earlier. He also could have made the Ashguard. He picked the same faction, so I thought that was very funny. That's right. Faction. Lads. We are entering into a 7-player FFA on the Faction Wars game mode. And that is very exciting stuff. We have none other than Joe Krogan, aka 3 Crow, whose birthday was yesterday. Celebratory Weekend War for him. He is our... Ooh, is this Zafir or is this Ultramarine? I'm going to say Zafir. Zafir Protoss in the top left. So it's a little bit darker than Ultramarine. And he is the Calendric Knights. You can tell by the portrait here. Right next to him at 12 o'clock is Raynaril. Raynaril is Mr. Futurist Federation. No, he's actually switched over to Hekaton. He was Futurist last game. So now we have him as the Dark Sapphire Terran at 12. In the top left. Oh, I mean, the top right. Isn't it so beautiful for Raynaril to spawn right next to Hit 'em Up? Cruelty and the Beast is his ID, and it seems like Sunglow. No, it's Lemon. Lemon is his color. Wait, no, this isn't even Hit 'em Up. This is Grass Eater. So I was looking at this, and I'm like, isn't that Magma or something? All right, anyway, he's a Protoss player. He's also Calendric Knights, so we'll see what he does there. Now, at the 4 o'clock position is actually Hit 'em Up for sure, and it is the Magma Zerg. He's going to be... I think this is Zorthos from memory. We'll see what units he makes. I'm pretty sure that's Zorthos. And down here in the bottom right, we have Art of Turtle, who is also the Zorthos Tendril. He is going to be our Japanese Violet Zerg. Spawning right next to Hit 'em Up. We'd love to see that. The two titans of the lobby smashing each other. At the 6 o'clock position, we have Toyota Miguel. He is our Mint Terran, and he is the Golden Republic. In the bottom left, we have... This is Jimmy, the Purple Terran. He is playing as default. Wow, he's playing as the Orion Imperium. Or he just hasn't picked his faction yet. I'm not sure which. Hold on, I will confirm that because I do have access to the Discord audio that the stream will not hear, but I will hear. And I will filter you guys in on any comms that happen. Jimmy, did you pick normal? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, so... We have a number of things happening here that I can talk about. Hot shots are coming on out, and those guys are shotgunners instead of Mavericks. You get that. A Vulture is already in his base. He's going to go ahead and lay the lobotomy mines inside the mineral line. Jimmy, your normal Masons will not help out too much. He's not making any units. He went straight for a Covenant. No wonder he's getting greeted on big time. He'll make a Savant. His workers are stunned and not mining for the most part. He's lost 2 workers to the Vulture already. Toyota absolutely giving him the business. A bunch of Rilla Cores have appeared. So that's very amusing. It looks like there will be no Drakon and Droleth killing this time around. And Ovaleth appears for AOT. Gets a little bit of friendly damage from that Cyclops. The single Savant deploys its auto gun. I guess that Vulture will not be coming anytime soon. An assortment of hotshots. Ashguard is being held at an arm's length. So the Ashguard is a Hierophant replacement for the Calendric Knights. And it does some serious deeps. Oh yeah, get him. So the thing about the Ashguard is that it actually converts another Ashguard, or it converts like any other target, right? So as of right now, unfortunately, 3 Crow is, his Ashguard is wounded. And look at this! He's going to go ahead and get his Ashguard stolen temporarily. Oh, never mind. It, didn't end up dying. The effect timed out before the Drakon shots. Very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Toyota going to fall back with his Aspirant. It felt like he probably could have killed that Savant, but he was concerned about the Eidolon. Jimmy also leaks his game audio, which is very amusing, because if he didn't do that, he probably would have had the element of surprise. Okay, an Ecclesiast of the Calendric Knights variety has deployed alongside the Ashguard. What is Grass Eater again, and he is going to look to bust this position. The Ecclesiasts, when they attack, increase the attack speed of allied units instead of giving them shields. So there's no sustain with this army. It's all going to be based on the Ecclesiast giving them attack speed, which might help neutralize the Ensnare. We've got a lot more static defense coming out. There is still no tech. It's pure greed. It's pure Cesiance from, from the Art of Turtle. Oh, no, this isn't Art of Turtle. Sorry, this is Hit 'em Up. No wonder. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. So now, with no tech node, he's just going to try to overwhelm him with pure Rilla cores. And I think it's going to work. There's no melee units to kind of put a buffer zone on the Rilla cores. Sorry, Hit 'em Up just has some very funny commentary. Well, that's a wrap for Grass Eater. His Ash Guard is stuck. Maybe he can get one draw left. Nope, not going to happen. You can walk over the Rilla cores, but he didn't. He wanted to go down instead of up. So that is a little bit awkward there, especially as the strength of Raynarel is rising. We saw 3Crow get overwhelmed by Ash Guards in a previous match, so he's clearly trying to use them himself. And that kind of makes sense. Art of Turtle is counting the Larvosks. It's a little bit of banter back and forth with them. Deploying the Savants, having the Eidolons inside the anchor. That is Jimmy's idea of a good time. Remember, he did lose some mining time and a bunch of Masons to the early rounds. And yeah, this defense is a little bit too turtly for 3Crow to bunch through. It would be nice to get him like a belated birthday victory in an FFA, right? But right now, he's trying to make use of those Ash Guards, and he's finding it a little bit challenging. Could maybe try the Ecclesiasts. We got the lovely new Matrix model. Obviously, the shadow is cut off right now. That'll be something we fix later. But the lovely new Matrix model, very, very exciting for our Protoss players out there. They've also got a new Simulacrum model as well. And give me one moment while I berate Jimmy. Jimmy, plug some headphones in. Not that it matters to the stream, but it's a constant string of unit responses as he, furiously clicks all of his army over and over again. All right, so a Hydrathen on the way here. It looks like Hit 'em Up is going to go from the massive amount of Larvosks and Rilla Rocors straight into Hydra spam, or maybe Bactyl spam. Try to convince me to nerf the unit. Now, Toyota is taking an interesting fight here. The Aspirants debuff units, and when the units die, they produce healing fields that restore shields and then health on any units in the position. So that's really significant for an army that's, engaging another army. But engaging a structure, you're not really going to benefit from it. AOT's Gorka Corps is going to send Toyota's Watchdog elsewhere. No luck over there. And, oh yeah, the Gorka Corps come on in here, and they're going to actually wreak some havoc. Killing all of the Larvos. I think actually Hit 'em Up might be in a lot of trouble right now. He's got to get a ton of Hydras out. They are standard Hydras, so they will still pack a punch. But I feel like those Gorgs might have been able to stick around for just a little bit longer to add a little bit more insult to injury. Toyota was going to try to set up defense. Okay, yeah, Toyota's going to set up right there outside of the main base. Iris on the way here for AOT. A single envoy comes in. Oh, it unloads the Acantor. Oh, 13 kills. Well, I mean, there's plenty more Drollots where that came from. Hit 'em Up is very upset about his mass targeting. But if you're in Grass Eater's shoes, you're thinking, God damn, I gotta punch this dude. I gotta make sure that the move happens properly here and that I don't die to Hit 'em Up later. Now, it looks like Raynarel is going to be getting a little bit frisky with it. No cancel on that engram, and honestly, I'm not really liking the position here for 3Crow. He doesn't have the most combat units. He's got an Acantor further back, but I think he's going to have to cancel this Nexus. I don't think he's got any other choice. Oh, he doesn't even get the cancel off. That's a lot of lost resources there as the Ash Guards hopelessly attempt to riposte the shotgunners and the Cyprians, the one Hurakan boldly charging the battle. Now, this is a position where Raynarel doesn't want to overextend, right? He's definitely going to have a great position here to fight. Oh, and the Anseals come out. That could actually change the dial here a little bit. One of the Ash Guards does end up going down. The next one is going to be quick to fall as well. Cyprians are so powerful. Meanwhile, Toyota is definitely having a good time. And yes, the Iziralisk is out, so that is confirmation that our Zerg players are playing as the Zorthos Tendril. They figure, only now Hit 'em Up has figured out that his units look a little bit different. Which units actually are them. Cestus has been assembled. Dropping an engram over here. I see there's a single phalanx. Oh, I see what's happening over here. Well, Jimmy's got tier 2 finished. What else is happening over here? The Gorga Corps is being pushed away by Spraiths. Okay, makes sense. They force Hit 'em Up back. And it looks like, yeah, okay, we're kind of in a bit of a stalemate at this position. AOT is going to end up losing some of his Gorgs. That's unfortunate. The Yavaleth does not have anything in it. It was just there to detect Droleths. But AOT losing all of his army there is definitely a little bit awkward. Oh, never mind. He finishes the Nidus. He gets a lot of Lachesis in. AOT just did a absolutely stupendous move there. And there's no detection here for Hit 'em Up. More Zoryus coming in to add even more power, even more. Wow, that is some impressive stuff. The Knight is staying alive, not being focused down. That might have actually been the key moment for Hit 'em Up. He doesn't target the Nidus, and now the lake is unburrow. All the Droleths pull back. Looks like they're heading over to that natural. Man, how many workers are here? 72 workers, and Grass Eater going to come in at the same time as the Lakers start to tear into those Larvosks. Really, Rokors galore, but they don't ensnare the burrowed targets. Oh no, here come the Droleths into the meat grinder. Hit 'em Up has been defeated, and he is the first to fall in the free-for-all. Wow, that is beautiful. Toyota moving in on Jimmy, meanwhile, doesn't have great detection, but the Cestus deploys. That does provide detection for this Terran army on the Golden Republic side as they clash with the Orion Imperium. Standard old tech tree, but is it enough? I don't think so. I think with everything that these aspirants have, with the extra armor that the Cestus is providing them, they are going to live a lot longer. And sure, you've got an ocean of clerics, but can you stop the incoming damage? It looks like maybe they've just narrowly avoided it, but if there were reinforcements here for Toyota, if he spent some of his considerable bank, he would have had a great time of it. Now, taking Hit 'em Up's corpse is Art of Turtle. Lake is coming in. Looks like the Cestus goes down, the reinforcements from Jimmy helping out a little bit there. Only a couple of vultures here. More units coming in for Toyota, so that's going to be the next thing that we check out. A skirmish for Hit 'em Up's corpse. Zobrialisks have deployed. They were, yeah, okay, all right. We got to get to see some of those units. Those units were added a long time ago. Rainarel is going to end up finishing his Atlas. And we have a pretty significant battle over here. It's definitely going to wrap out Grass Eater. And I definitely hear Jimmy... No, never mind. I hear Hit 'em Up listening to the game while we're in here. So that's great. I get that little echo of my own voice. Hi, me. Did you know that Rainarel is charging forward with all of the Hurricanes? Unfortunately, he's not going to get too much done. The Acantors are just going to tear him up. You know, with Antseal Eidolon, it's like a pretty cool composition. There is no static detection here, sans the Bulwark. So if you stay back here, you can range down the wall at the very least and make it a little bit more likely that you can take stuff. The map design, if you can call it design, of BGH does force the first two slots here at, I guess you could call it like 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock, to do some serious stuff against each other to claim each other's natural, because they basically have a shared natural. Now, at this point, AOT is trying to claw through Grass Eater. He's got a lot of Acantors back behind this, though, so I don't think this is going to factor in too much. Another Acantor drop just got absolutely eviscerated by the Spraith and the Gorgakors. So that's a wrap there. Jimmy calls for peace as he's cleared another round of aspirants. Double Cestus. Well, will Toyota actually honor that peace? I guess we'll find out. Grass going to push forward and see what else he can do. There's a single Zoryus coming down here and going to turn into an Ultra Core, but it's pretty wounded. So if Grass presses the issue here, he might be able to find some value. Double Escagant, double Excisant, making things matter in the former base of Hit 'em Up. I feel like overall, though, I mean, Three Crow is, he's fallen behind on his spending, right? He's got his Acantors coming up, but he's got a lot of money he could be spending. Same is actually true for Rainarel with 6,000 minerals. What is he going to spend all that money on? He's adding a lot of mantles. Maybe he can start mass-producing Ramses. Instead, he goes for Cataphracts. Going to be a little bit gas-gated as his expansion attempts are foiled, at least for now. No phalanxes with that army. Cestuses will deploy on the opposite sides of Toyota's base as he once again attempts to take the middle of the map. He does like to do that on BGH. That is seemingly his strategy. The witnesses are out to reveal the last Eidolon, the last lonely Eidolon. Oh, narrowly ends up not dying. That's impressive. And now an ocean of Gorgakors and Zarkavrakors are on their way. There's some vibrances here, but they don't attack air. That is going to be a change for the last time that Grass Eater played Protoss, I think. So we'll see if he ends up remembering that part of the deal. Yeah, the Scribes are just going to get absolutely munched on, and unfortunately, with this army coming over here to kind of disrupt this base, it looks kind of good at first for Grass Eater, but I don't think it's going to be enough, considering all of the workers just got wiped. He's going to pan back over there at some point. And now going after that Nidus, it's not a bad deal. I mean, he sees it. You can see all of the units desperately trying to move forward there. Instead, they've got to kill the Nidus because it was annexed. That is a dirty, dirty move. Not going to make happen there. But yeah, I mean, despite that, all of that is temporary. It's not permanent control. Looks like a couple of Ashguards finish up, and they are going to get munched on. And I don't know. I mean, it feels like Grass just hasn't even realized that his whole base is dead. At the same time, we got Lattices coming in, Toyota scouting it. Looks like the Vassal Hordes will fly again. We've got Rogue Galleries and Ardent Authority. So it's Vassal Barghest is going to be the transition point out for 3-Crow. He's very fond of this particular strategy. Toyota's got a pretty big army over here. He's going to end up rubbing up shoulders with the Vibrances. Remember, there is detection here in the form of the Cestus. So as they heckle Toyota's army and kind of, surprise him a little bit, he's going to come down here. The Khaz'Trith also detects. So you're not going to find a way in, no matter what you end up doing. And it looks like that will basically be an inglorious demise for Grass Eater. Oh, I say that. His last Vibrant... No, never mind. I was going to say maybe it would narrowly find a way in. But that is definitely a wrap. They're both looking at the same stuff like, damn. Well, I guess I'll build the Nexus here. And the Mutas kind of fly over the rest of the army, revealing it. There's not that much anti-air over here. It's Ashguards, it's Dracodons. You can maybe target down the Ashguards first because that'll stop them from stealing stuff. Meanwhile, the mech push out here with Phalanxes and with Cataphracts might have come a little bit too early for 3-Crow to get his Vassal army out. He's got all his Lattices, but they're idle, not producing a single thing. And some balance complaints happen, as they do, as they always do. So the Acantor has 9 range, the Cataphract has 9 range. It's very, very amusing because the Katas have equal range as the Acantors, but 3-Crow just said, why do they have more range than the Acantor? And Rainerell just said they don't, and that got me, dude. That was such a deadpan response. It was beautiful. All right, so aside from those comms, everything has been pretty silent. Our players getting quite concentrated here as Art of Turtle continues to wipe out Grass Eater. Toyota's got a lot of stuff down here in the dead center. Jimmy kind of scouting around. There's 10 Senders out there. Toyota, despite his peace, does not approve of the spy planes. And Jimmy's got a lot of army, but it's not currently situated here. Rainerell now getting absolutely ransacked. He's going to have to come home with his Cataphracts, I think, as he's slowly pushing through over there. Oh, he's going to scramble his 3 Cataphracts there, but they are going to get overwhelmed by this Zerg air stack, almost certainly. No Ramses to speak of, so no penetration here. No Madrigals came out of those Fulcrums. It's all Phalanx, so a bit of a blind spot from Rainerell, and he's going to be punished by it. Now his last few Cataphracts are here. He's like, oh, well, I'm probably dead, so I'm just going to kill 3-Crow. I love that FFA decision-making. At least go out in glory. Kill one player. Oh, a couple of Watchdogs here are actually going to catch some of these ill-fated Gorgakors. A single Ultra Core clearing out Grass Eater's Nexus there, and he's slowly rebuilding in his own main base, but I don't know that that's going to really matter too much. The Atlas now the target of Art of Turtle's hatred and cruelty. We've got Scribes coming over here, and it looks like Jimmy and Toyota are fighting each other. Yeah, battle workers. Wow, that was impressive. All right, well, Scribes are I don't know what was going on there. Scribes are attempting to do something over here, but the Nexus is not long for this world. And, oh, look at this. The Zerg returns to their Protoss stomping grounds. The last of the Ashguards are gone. And, well, Grass Eater's going to kind of huddle his Scribe over here to see if he can maybe save it, drop a Nexus over there. The FFA Cockroach strategy has got a decent amount of money in the bank to rebuild if he needs to. Well, I say decent. I guess it's not that much. Now we should see Madrigals come out. Yeah, indeed. He lost all of his tier 2, all of his mantles. So Rainerell is definitely kind of in the mud there. A ton of additional structures coming in over here as the Harakans are positioned from Rainerell to riposte any assault. Meanwhile, the 10 Senders are here. A big army over here for Jimmy whenever he wants to move out. He's kind of huddling it so he doesn't betray the alliance. Harakans misbehaving. Toyota now coming in to strike, but the Wardens are finishing. The Wardens are finishing. He needs another pylon. Oh, not quite able to burst it down anyway, but those redundancy pylons are now aware, and the Bulwarks are going to try to restore the shields of the completed units that are here. Grass Eater slowly being munched on by AOT. Force a little bit back, but the Phalanxes are going to stop any would-be assault from Toyota's ground game. That gateway is slowly being heckled to death. Durandals are also out. Oh, the Nexus was caught. Does he have any other Scribes anywhere else? He's got one in the bottom right. He wants to cockrush. He didn't cancel it, though. That's really significant, I think. Or maybe he did, and I just didn't I might not have seen it. Because he's got more money than I would think if he put down another Nexus. But maybe he could have like canceled something else that was in a structure somewhere. All right, the data list complete for Jimmy. We've got a Nexus up for that. I love the ocean of neutral Droleths. Jimmy is very impressed with himself for being alive. He's still just huddling all of his army over here to not attack Toyota incidentally. Now, the Aspirant stack here with some Shamans is definitely going to be a little bit harder to break through than AOT may give it credit for initially. There's a couple of deployed Shamans here. The Antseal's kind of on top of things to prevent the splash damage from doing too much. And the Durandals take so long to bring down, but that's what's aggroed all the Mutas. So not really being able to focus on anything, plus the Cestus adding 1 extra armor. The Zobrialisks might be where this changes, but they do kind of struggle. I mean, I guess they have 6 armor pins, so they don't really struggle against armor, but they're going to be a little bit hard-pressed to break through here efficiently. Ultra Cores have now joined the party, and we've got more Gorger Cores to splash everything else. Targeting down those Shamans now a very good choice by Art of Turtle as he brings down all of the Shamans to prevent the healing stacking from happening, and he's slowly tearing down that Cestus with the help of the Zobrialisks. Since they don't care about the armor, they're fine taking those bad puppies down. Grass slowly rebuilding on the other side. I'm looking around for any other action, but it looks like this is where it's at. Toyota slowly being broken through. Does he have more reinforcements? He needs to pull them away from his 4th base. He's got tons of money, so don't get me wrong. It's not like taking extra bases is a bad thing, but it also doesn't mean that he really needs to hold on to this. The scariest thing is what if he gets A-moved by AOT later, but he can have some confidence that AOT is going to be all right. Stargate's coming over here and getting sniped down. Yeah, 3Crow spending a significant bank. Atlas being restarted here for Raynaril. No stranger to being sent back down to the Stone Age and having to rebuild from it. Now AOT is going to come in and get a little bit curious, but he sees the defensive phalanx, despite there being no phalanxes, set up by Toyota. He's going to fall back. Eidolon's occasionally sniping the workers over here as well. Allies, but without allying. Jimmy doing his best. He's got tier 3. He's getting his Iron Foundry up and running. He needs more than that. He doesn't have that much build space, actually. Well, at this point, I am a little bit concerned. I don't think we have a decided frontrunner, because Jimmy is going to get to tier 3, and if he gets enough of those endgame units, he can make up the skill diff between him and AOT pretty easily, actually. Especially since AOT continuously is, kind of pushing himself into this potential tripwire. Not that many units over here, by the way. It's all 10 senders, but most of them are empty, or they only have like a couple of aspirants. Instead, oh yeah, AOT going to go for the offensive Khaz'trith and just try to range down all of these units with the army that he's got. That Khaz'trith is being focused down. Very, very good target selection from Toyota. But has it done enough damage anyway? He's got more units in the back. 1 Phalanx deploys. That is the only Phalanx that Toyota has right now. It's going to need to pop off in a big way. And the Zobrialisks are just shredding some of the high armor targets, helping the Zerg to kind of ignore the Cestus benefit. But if you bring him down, then the rest of the units might struggle a little bit more. Grass Eater has very slowly been rebuilding this entire time, by the way. Jimmy's got a ton of money. Not currently spending it, making a couple of more infantry units just because. A single Zobrialisk has found out that, hey, you don't actually have that much in here. All right, here we go. More Lachezelisks on the way. Getting even their speed boost from the Zoroastrian. They're going to dive directly into the rally point, see if they can cut off reinforcements. Toyota is in a humongous amount of trouble. And if he GG's, then Jimmy's going to know, oh, somebody's right next to me and absolutely wreaking havoc. But this should still be an opportunity for Jimmy to get some good value. And this whole time, by the way, we do have slowly the rebuilding affair. More Nexuses, more Scribes. Grass Eater doing his best. The 1 Aspirant does not kill the Zobrialisk. Yeah, Toyota's been so focused on the defense. His Daedal is going to get killed. He has to cancel it. So unfortunate. Floats his Nexus, or his Ministry and his Atlas off to the side. Oh my god, we missed this. He wants me to look at his base. It's you? Oh, I think he's talking about him making a... No, I don't know. I thought maybe he would have made a Penumbra or something. Well, Toyota's 4th base is dying. His 3rd base is collapsed in the middle of the map. His natural is eaten. And now he's going to see if he can float away. Now, AOT could borrow the Zobrialisks to kill the air structures here, but I don't think it would be the best of uses of them. He is overwhelming this position, which is very funny. Does Jimmy even know what's happening? Is he... What's he... He's not saying anything in chat, in voice, so... He must be having a very amusing reaction. Here comes the air stack. It's Vassals. It's Panoptises. And they are going to very quickly tear through the Zoryus, forcing another lift from Toyota's rest of his army. He's like, all right, I got to get out of here. Not that I have that much. This Fulcrum will burn down. What is Toyota thinking at this point? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Well, he's thinking he just got the last of his stuff sniped. The Daedala being made right there. We've got 4 mantles stacked up. No, the Fulcrum. Oh, Toyota. That's one of your only structures. Goodbye. So, 8 Panoptis, 25 Vassals. Definitely wants a Road Gallery for the Bargust, if he's going to go this kind of comp. Oh, Raineril has so much. He snipes, trades 1 Hurakan for a Panoptis and a whole lot of damage on everything else. Goliaths, thinking about it. Raineril has taken the former base of 3 Crow. Honestly, this army, you can just walk in and kill the Goliaths with that many Panoptises. The Cataphracts are a little bit harder, and the Madrigals are obviously a massive no-go. I would know, I am a pro no-go. Okay, we've got the Khaz'trith. No Khaz'trith in that Irolith. Just there for detection right now. Air stack comes in. We actually don't have that many Madrigals. 2 of them get munched on immediately. And now, I mean, run it kind of across the map but there by 3 Crow's army that's now kind of patrolling the middle of the map. That might have been the perfect window for AOT to unknowingly double team Raineril. More mantles are being made just in time to welcome the new Zerg overlords. Well, a little outpost over here is going to get munched on. AOT not going to have that. Toyota is asking for some... I don't know what he's asking for. Wait, you did? Kinda. The Madrigals deploy. No, I don't know if they should have done that particular mode, but I guess that'll help them with the Lakizalist. Ends up helping out nonetheless. Air stack has been held at an arm's length. The Cataphracts withstand. Yeah, actually not too shabby on the defense for Raineril, but it does reset his army. Needs to get a little bit more production. Now, poor Art of Turtle. The tables have turned. And, okay, a nanite assembly is being started for Toyota. Jimmy still has a ridiculous amount of money, but he's not spending it. Ancestral Archives is being made by Grass Eater. Tier 2 being attempted to snipe by 3 Crow. All right, that'll do it. What does AOT do now? Now, if... yeah, hey, what's up? See ya. I mean, hey, why not, right? Now, AOT is going to try to crush through all of the Wardens. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Hit him up is like checking if it's a DC. He's like, how many minerals do you have, Art of Turtle? And Art of Turtle's like, 13,000. Which is true. Very good. Very funny. Grass Eater is pretty well re-expanded, and he's got his endgame tech coming. His Ancestral Archive is about to finish up. 3 Crow will hold. All right, the nanite assembly is done. And they're slowly mining each other with from the Ministry. That's very funny. Sharing each other's bases. Okay, the Zerg attack was held. Sikralisks are here as well. That would have been very scary, but, you know, the Wardens will hold them at an arm's length, right? AOT has almost no Vespene. He's going to need to reset his base, cap his gas again, build his tech again. You know how it is. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any saturation on the base, on hit-em-up space. He built all those things, but he only is mining from one of them. It might have been harassment at some point. Raineril is now like, hey, I wonder who's to my right. It's Grass Eater, who just now finished trying to set his Nexus up, but unfortunately it will be quashed. This is my favorite map. That's what I say. Jimmy, start prod! Exclamation point. Foolishness, Toyota foolishness. He's trying to say, like, Dude, you should actually spend your money and use your stuff. Very amusing. 55 vassals, 14 Panoptises, but the Sicklesk do splash damage. That's a bit of a scary time. Oh, wow. Okay, well, there goes a ton of vassals. At least they'll catch a few on the way out. Yeah, you got to be very, very scared of this kind of... it's like a very high-risk, high-reward type play to go with all of these. Well, Rainarill continuing to push in. This might be the last stand of Grass Eater. Got to be catching it in 4K, even though I'm not streaming in 4K. The Pariah is going to help bring down a lot of the Anseal shielding, to be fair. But the Aptecton is all the way behind that. Maybe it'll still be enough. I don't know. The Cataphracts are doing real work, though. Panoptis is coming back in for another swipe at AOT. What's he got coming? Not actually that many units. This weird shared alliance in the bottom left is still doing some numbers. Nothing in production for 3-Crow. Nor for Rainarill, actually. And it looks like he will be held at an arm's length. One of the Aptectons goes down, but there's 2 more. Or whatever that was. I think that was an Aptecton. Ah, fuck your Daedalus. I'm going to kill it with a Mason. He landed the Atlas. I can't believe it, dude. He landed the Atlas for detection so he could pull the Lachesis. It's beautiful. Well, AOT is going to get killed by 3-Crow. That's my prediction. I hope you guys appreciate my prediction. I don't know how this is possible. AOT has so much money. AOT could have just made Sicklelisks and been done with this. And we've got a missile launched directly onto that Ancestral Archives. Bullying the Daedalus. They'll come over here to scoop into the Trojan. Oh, one man's been left behind. Fight! 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 It landed. Grass Eater is not happy. Poor AOT. He had to take a phone call and walk his dog and cook some burgers. That's my only explanation. Jimmy has the most money in the whole lobby by a significant margin. Oh, AOT found his army! AOT will live! We love to see it. Perfect. That should finish off the Ancestral Archives, which is a pretty big one. Oh, look at this! Dirty! He's using the facade. He cloaks his army, including that Seraph. There's no counterplay with that detection. He's basically made the facade. He's used the facade to create the Seraph as a cloaked nuker. Air nuker. That is absolutely deleterious. I can't believe it. Well, AOT's army is back in the main base, but that's not where the Skytoss is. AOT is talking to somebody that is not one of us. So, yeah, I really actually think he did have to, like, walk his dog or something. Sounded like he was even grabbing a keychain or maybe a dog chain. All right, here's his army. Coming on in. Coming in hot. AOT's got to spring back to finish the job here. Well, he's going to go after the Nidus, but he doesn't actually pick the Nidus or the Hatch. I guess he'll change that and pick both now. See you, nerd. A couple of Jimmy units are revealing themselves. Dude, Jimmy has played Pacifist this whole game, basically. For longer than not, he has played Pacifist. Natural being taken again by Grass Eater. What the hell is happening? Cloaked nuker. All right, Ancestral Archives is dead. It's just the Aptectons. Trick shot move. No scope. Got him. I'm sorry for what I must do, says Jimmy as he moves out with his army finally. All the Sicklelisks are going to stack up and definitely prevent 3-Crow from leaving the building without losing a ton of units. Hey, those Sicklelisks need to be on it! AOT! Micro your army! Even without Micro, he still killed most of the vassals, so that's still pretty good. The Aptectons are coming back! They're having to fall back! The Nexus is not going to go up! Grass Eater will cancel it yet again. Jimmy has a pretty big throng of bio. Toyota has a ton of other stuff, including Tier 3. He's floating in the middle of the map with his Trojan, just scouting out, seeing what's going on. It's a dark and scary place right now. I know it's hard to believe, but yes. Yes, we are. Another nuclear strike is painted. Gonna clear the side set. Ooh, lag. Don't worry. Don't worry, it's all fine. The Sicrilisks are deployed in one last-ditch effort. They're not going to finish off the Panoptises. Does he have his Spire still? He has. Yeah, he does. He has all his tech, so he can remake those units. I think Turtle is not long for this world. That's my guess. Distance mining. I think he AFK'd. We're seeing a purple box move, so he just saw like the last look at the Protoss base. Jimmy's getting him. Pushing in with his army. Another nuke strike. Oh, look, the Barghests were here to try to clear that, but the facade is still... the facade is still going. Here come the air again. AOT is going to be hook, line, and sinker, it feels like. He's just watching the last of his structures get owned. Now, this is a pretty big, nice position here for 3Crow. He has somehow rebuilt himself into a solid position. The last of AOT is coming to a close. Somehow Grass Eater is still alive. I don't know how. Like, Raynarel and him are locked in this perpetual duel. Jimmy's like, I can't believe I'm winning. There must be a desync. He's going to come in here and see the Protoss finally killing the tech of AOT, and he's going to say, oh. Ah. Ah. It all makes sense now. One of his Mad Cabs coming in. Now, when Jimmy makes contact with 3Crow's army, 3Crow will definitely lose. He's going to need to fly away. Like, there's way too much firepower here for Jimmy. The constant nuking is apparently not being a problem. Ooh. Well, the Tectons are a problem, that's for sure. Attempting to. It was a race between him and 3Crow. Who could destroy it first? Yeah, those Tectons are real nasty. Oh no! The Magnetars! Oh! Oh, in a blink of an eye. Bonk. Well, 3Crow's got to go back to the drawing board. Everybody else is definitely still playing. The nukes are called down perpetually. What do we have? Double anvil? And they're both loaded, too. He needs another... He needs another Seraph if he doesn't have one already. The one Huracan. Like, hey, what's up, dude? The last Art of Turtle structures. They are gone. Gonzo. He's got one worker somewhere. I don't know where. It's very confusing that Jimmy is purple and so is AOT, but that's all right. The worker is dead. Raynarel might need to pull his Silver Tongues back. The Ocean of Watchdogs is definitely reducing the HP of these Panoptises and the Vassals, but it's not going to be entirely enough. Needed some kind of splash compromise. Look, another Anvil is there. AOT is out. See you, nerd. Yeah, I guess he wasn't in the game. Raynarel's going to need to respond to that somehow. Grass Eater is still defending. And I don't think he will be able to versus what Jimmy is about to send at him. Oh, at the same time, the Magnetars and the Anti-Cathons for... Oh, and Ramses. Dude, this is like the anti-stack spot. Anti-stack squad right there. Air jail. The moving air jail. That's what we have right here. Now, Jimmy just needs to actually deploy his army versus Grass. If he can get there, and the Optectons get overwhelmed, Grass Eater will be a dead man. But right now, it's a lot of dead Jimmies. No, Jimmy, don't lose all your Jimmies. All right, Toyota seeing some random units there. Might be encouraged to move up. Oh, he'll take a couple of them. Thanks. No, the Anvil! The Anvil's going to detonate! Oh my god, it's a disaster. It's a slaughter. Huh? Things are falling apart at the seams for Rainaril. But he's holding the assault from Jimmy pretty easily. AOT having a Canada moment? I think it's AOT. AOT. It says Art of Turtle is in the lag box. Well, I got dropped actually, so if somebody wants to stream, I'll take a look at the POV. All right, we are now watching the POV of none other than 3Crow. Toyota has apparently eaten the dust. Not really sure what happened there. And 3Crow is just rocking out with 10,000 minerals in the bank. It's only him and Rainaril left in the game now. Very unfortunate for 3Crow, because I think Rainaril had plenty of tech to respond to this. Somebody needs to plug in headphones. I feel like right now, what I'm seeing from 3Crow is a lot of air units still. He hasn't transitioned despite his incredible bank. And with the way that the Madrigals are positioned, I don't know if they're everywhere, right? Like, when I last saw all of what the Madrigals had... Oh, man, he's making Wyverns. That is not going to be the play. Oh, he's got some Madrigals, though. That's definitely going to help him out. He needs, like... He needs that, he needs Ramses, or he just needs sufficient Silver Tongues, which apparently he has. So that's going to force 3Crow to reconsider his options. But at this point, we are basically watching a 1v1 from like tier 1.5 Protoss to going up against tier like 3 Terran, right? So this is definitely a difficult one to fight your way out of if you're 3Crow, especially since he's still making the same army. And he like the win condition for Rainaril is the same as always, right? It's make my crowd control, make it happen. Oh, there's now a missile painted at him. Oh, some of the apothecaries will go down at the very least, so there is that. But the Silver Tongues are scrambling. The Goliath is on the way as well. Oh, never mind. It's second guessing itself, So Rainaril is going to have to work a little bit harder on the A move. The Daedal are going to go down here pretty soon. Maybe. I say that. I mean, the problem is that you can see 3Crow's entirely focused on it, but he refuses to click on it to like see its HP to try to estimate it. That's a small thing that would help him out quite a bit. Also, spending his money would help him out quite a bit. So, yeah, I don't know where that nuke hit, or if that nuke hit. Rainaril, how many players are in your game? It's for 3Crow. It's only you and 3Crow. Okay, I saw you painted a nuke. Yeah, I saw you painted a nuke, and I was like, oh, he's gonna nuke 3Crow. And then there was nothing. So you nuked a dead player, I guess. All right, just making sure. Very funny. It's really nice to hear from the Discord audio, as long as I can actually manage to talk and listen at the same time. It's very shall we say, it's illuminating. You know what I mean? So we'll see about that. Small army coming in here. Just looks like it was canvassing the map, but it's going to get caught by the air army. 3Crow will feel pretty good about himself for sniping the tech, but I think it really doesn't matter from the things that I saw. Now, 3Crow is going to spend his bank on a Nexus. That's not really what he wants to spend his money on at this point. I mean, it's fine to do that, but what you need the most is you need the ability to dive in with some kind of tech transition. You know what I mean? He's going to go after the Seraph here. Oh, man, there's a lot of static defense over here. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it through there. He's got a lot of Watchdogs, some Cestises to boost the armor. I guess the Madrigals weren't in the splash damage mode, though. So that definitely helps out a little bit. Waiting for the counter push here from Rainarel. Does he have anything else? They might just be in different realities at this point. So I feel like at this point, Rainarel is still he's like a class 3 player, right? So like I'm guessing he would have responded to that kind of threat by now. And he doesn't seem to have much of anything, although the Masons will start to go elsewhere. He clearly has another base somewhere, maybe in the in his natural. Really funny that Rainarel evicted 3-Crow, and now 3-Crow is trying to do the same thing back at him, but... Yeah, from what I'm seeing, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this is a desynced game, because Rainarel surely has an army, but he's not using it. It is time for Massacre. Hit him up as declared it. Check my POV. All right, well, we'll take a look at what Rainarel had. I can't check his POV. He's not streaming. Oh, he is streaming. There you go. All right, so cool. Terran wins. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted to see 3-Crow get absolutely devastated and owned. So we're here for the victory as the last of the lattices are melted, liquefied, devastated. GG's. At least I got to see the Dirty Sky Toss player die on one POV. All right. I will now host Massacre. I kind of want to do Antechamber Massacre. That's always fun. Oh, I did Faction Over's Way. Yeah, Artiturtle, you did take out the entire outer rim of the Wardens. Don't say that. All right, Shambler's in here as Absolute Jimmy, I think. I don't actually know who that is. Ah, Neutron's in. Very nice. Well, it's time for Massacre on Antechamber. You know what that means. Bring your absolute mega mind. You'll have to get next game. But don't worry, this won't be this is going to be a rush game. I can tell because Hit 'em Up has delivery soon. Alrighty, we have Massacre on Antechamber, 6-player FFA. 3-Crow is our Terran player in the top left. He is our... Is he Zafir again? No, it's Ultramarine this time. Okay. In the top right, we've got Neutron, Black Zerg. In the 3 o'clock position, we have Absolute Jimmy, the red Terran. In the bottom right, we have... Who is this? Rainarel as the Dark Sapphire Terran. In the bottom left, we have Cruelty and the Beast as the Vivid Red Zerg. And in the 9 o'clock position, we have Grass Eater. He is the Maya Blue No, Arrow. Arrow Terran. Wow, Arrow, Maya Blue, Cornflower Blue, they all look the same. Can't believe it. Double Stockade here for 3-core. Looks like he'll be going Maverick Man, or maybe Huracan Man. Huracan Man is pretty good. Let's see how many of those we end up seeing. Massacre, by the way, means that you get double the units that you train, and that you cannot harvest Vespene. You can only get it by killing units and training units. So the Vespene counter will only increment by 3, of course, every time you make a unit and every time you kill a unit. And obviously when you make a unit, it's technically doubled, so it's 6. So let's see what ends up happening. That includes structures as well. You get 3 from a structure. So overall, I am definitely looking forward to seeing what ends up happening in some of these Jimmy-infested games. Maybe we'll do a Jimmy-a-thon at some point where everybody changes their name to Jimmy. But right now, the only one who's rolling that is the Shambler. It's a nice little additional guessing game. And by nice, I mean I actually hate it, and I wish it wasn't a thing. When people just change their username to like a bunch of different things and then just pretend that they've never played the game before, but they're really good, wink, or whatever the fuck they do. That's basically what Grass Eater did as the what ID. Maverick is indeed leaving the building. A couple of them, actually, for Grass Eater. So, something that 3-core suggested a while ago, before we started the lobby, was Massacre Faction Wars, so that he could pick the Order of the Sacred Saber and have the Renaissare, the doubling vassal equivalent. Unfortunately, Grass is going to get overwhelmed without killing a single Droleth there. Hit him up, impervious to such strategies. But don't worry, Mavericks are on the way. I actually think Hit 'em Up's greed-based strategy of not actually making combat units is really dangerous in Massacre. You can just get overwhelmed by somebody who's making more military. Up here in the top right, Neutron is finding that out the hard way. He's going up against the Shambler, who is the Stim Maniac. We're actually going to have a couple of those here as the Huracans come in for 3-Crow. This is going to be an opportunity for the Terrans to fight each other inside Neutron's base. Meanwhile, all of the static defense is at the natural choke, and now Grass Eater going to go ahead and have to give another Stim so he can clear even more Droleths. There is a pool here available for Hit 'em Up. What's happening on this side? 3-Crow looks like he's going to be content with killing the natural of the Zerg player, while Neutron struggles to kill the last of the stimmed Mavericks here. They're very, very wounded from all those stims, so they will not be able to finish the job. Looks like Grass Eater has been eaten out, but don't worry! There is plenty of Mavericks where that came from. Absolute combination of effects here. Huracans could come in and help quite a bit, especially versus those Zethra-cores, and you're going to need another Stim for those Mavericks to make things happen. And they could have finished off some of those K-Grunts as well. That would have been very nice. But as of right now, it looks like Neutron, with one worker left, is going to be hanging on. I don't think he'll be hanging on for long. All right, well, Grass Eater going to add in some Blackjacks. That's an interesting choice, because they're mineral-only units. They're pretty good when you add a lot of them in. Wow, Neutron's actually taking a risk here. He's going to dive in and see if he can maybe cause some damage dealt to one of the players that was adjacent to him to stop them from going even further. But 3-Crow is impervious to such ego plays. He's instead just going to charge in with an absolute horde of anchors. And at least the Quasilisks are kind of in position to deal with that, but we'll see when the anchors actually decide to land. It looks like they are going to land right in those Quasilisks' faces. The containment is up. Neutron has to fall back. At the same time, oh, nice Cesta's positioning is actually going to help out versus these Mavericks quite a bit. He needs to pull these ones back in, and he looks like he's going without the Huracan, so that's a big whiff from Raynarel. Otherwise, he might have been able to actually finish this off in a timely manner, but maybe I spoke too soon, because as the Mavericks dive in, they take a lot of extra opportunity damage that Shambler did not need to open himself up to, and that will be a wrap on that army. A bunch of Lakizilisks have been assembled here by Hit 'em Up. He will not die to Huracans, not this time, and certainly not to Mavericks either. No detection available for Grass Eater as he has a 4th and 5th Fulcrum. 3rd base as well going up, this one a Ministry. Added a Lodestone to his treasury and threw a bunch of units in there. A couple of Watchdogs to help versus air. And now Neutron is going to continue to get egressed into a couple of Raynarel's units. Whoa! A couple of Raynarel's units are coming back in with the with these moves. I have seen this map in particular, Blackjack's teleport, and I don't know what it is. There must be like some hidden trigger I didn't delete or something. That's not the first time I've seen that. And it's like in this area. Very impressive. Huracans, Blackjacks, they're dying! Grass Eater has to be a little bit more on the ball with his army. Oh, the Cyprians are just going to chew through Mr. Hit 'em Up. Shambler is going to have to come in here. Oh, look at the Hurricanes, though. You're surrounded. Your Zethicors are fodder. Even if some of them escape, there's plenty more on the rally. And now, yeah, Neutron is going to be destroyed by 3 Crow. But those anchors are going to prevent... they're going to prevent Shambler from being able to do too much. A couple of Mavericks inside these anchors are going to prevent... yeah, that's not going to allow Hit 'em Up to get in, really, with anything. So that's unfortunate for him. Now Rainaril, once again, going to see if he can withstand the incoming slaughter. If only he had a single Fulcrum with a Palladium attachment, he could make one Phalanx and defeat everything. Here comes some Lakes. Maybe wrap around and punish the Shambler. Cestus is doing a ton of work to defend versus the Cyprians. You would say that like this armor boost gives you 2 armor instead of just 1. And so the Cyprians no longer penetrate the anchors. They deal like less damage to the anchors. It's brilliant. It's a lovely synergy. But the same cannot really be said for the Maverick, which is struggling a lot more to kill the Cyprians. And now, if Hit 'em Up decides to push forward, he'll just eat the last of Ray for dinner. Well, I guess for lunch, because he's waiting for his DoorDash to get here. Oh, the Cyprians don't even die either. The next round should clear them up, especially with the Shambler's attention being dictated elsewhere. The anchors land, but they're much less effective without the Cestus. And nobody's evolved to use offensive Cestus yet. I'm sure somebody will eventually. But that is not going to be 3 Crow, as his Mavericks are cleaned out. Phew. What a disaster. Okay, lots of Zeths, lots of Quas. Not really going to be the finest army that Hit 'em Up could make. But maybe he can overwhelm Rainaril at the very least and take this down to a 3-man game, with Neutron already getting first in, first outed. The Cyprians are pretty good here, but they come before the Cestus has arrived, and that means there's not going to be nearly as much armor as you would want versus the Quas. The Mavericks are going to be helpfully able to clean this up a little bit more. The Cestus finishes. Is it going to be enough to hold? I think maybe the answer is yes with those anchors. Oh, no, this one at the top didn't finish, but still not going to be quite enough. Shambler now waypointing his blob of bio directly into the natural of 3 Crow. Does he have enough to hold? I'm going to go out on a limb and say the answer is no, but his Atlas is done. Maybe he can assemble some Sentinels and hold in the natural, or in the main base, rather. Captaincies have been assembled by Rainaril in the meanwhile, so we might end up seeing some Madcaps or even some Olympians. Massacre Olympians, not a bad shout. As the wall crumbles for 3 Crow, he is immediately airlifting his Atlas, and he's rebuilt inside Neutron's base. That's it. That's all he's conceding, his whole army right there. Grass Eater now coming into contact with the Aziricors of Hit 'em Up. He's got a nice little lodestone with the Blackjacks inside it. I like the idea of trying to like take control of this area as the 4th base was being set up. Grass has a ton of minerals in the bank. The Hydra's out here as well. Okay, it looks like, you know, Blackjacks and Massacre not too shabby. But will they be able to stand up against Shambler's Horde? Because he's now sending yet another attack wave out. And this one is earmarked for Grass Eater. I'm not so sure it's going to be quite enough. This is funny. This is a purely Terran and Zerg lobby. I just realized that we do not have any Protoss representatives. The Blackjacks are getting absolutely annihilated by the Cyprians. It is not even close. The lack of armor means that the Cyprians penetrate them. What a devastation. No Cestus there to boost their armor to prevent that. Maverick's going to stim on in for even more value. Well, what else does Grass have right now? Oh, he's got a drop, and he is doom dropping Hit 'em Up, forcing his army back. The Hurricanes cleaning house on the mineral line. Not a massive oversaturation, so I don't think very many got out, if any. And the leftover forces might be able to finish off the ski back, prevent any backfill spams from happening. Not that there's already a good number of them anyway. Catching him at a very inopportune time. I like to imagine being Hit 'em Up's DoorDash delivery driver, and you get there and there's just this hulking man who's like 6'6" or whatever, and he like grabs it out of your hand immediately and goes, "I gotta win in Cosmonarchy," and then slams the door and runs back to his computer, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Now, Shambler pushing forward. There's only some Blackjacks, some Hurricanes. Not the best drop force, and certainly not the best defense force, but Hit 'em Up is now charging in to where Shambler is. It's red on red violence. Rainaril trying to break out, using his Heracles to his advantage. He doesn't have the greatest way to detect the Lakes, but I guess the Heracles will stay alive long enough, and the Bactylisks are ripping through Shambler as he tries to finish 3 Crow off in the top right. The Heracles will eventually be routed by the rally of Hit 'em Up. Oh no, Shambler's sending a lot of Masons out. What's happening? He's just trying to body block so that his Mavericks and Cyprians could do something, but the Bactylisks are wreaking havoc. It is a total bedlam and chaos, and I don't think Shambler has what it takes to break this efficiently. There are no rallies coming in. There's no reinforcements. It did have to get eaten up by what Rainaril did, and Grass Eater's still barely hanging on. We've seen him try his best to hang on in the past. The Bactylisks are finally going to be routed as the Mavericks stim to get in their face. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. They need to be much closer, and now reinforcements are on the way. Admittedly, no more Bactylisks, but doesn't matter. At this point, you just need to throw a little bit more at the Terran, and he might be in a real tough pickle. Remember, a big portion of his army is all the way in the top right. Rainaril not yet to move out and contest Hit 'em Up even further, so this is going to open up even more value here in his fight against the Shambler. The last of the Shambler's army, by the way, did end up falling in the 9 o'clock position. Some of his army is going to be eaten up here. He actually has been keeping his money relatively low, but that doesn't mean that killing his expansion is going to be the only thing that you need to do to finish him off. He's going to evacuate the Masons, not using those for Bactylis bounce fodder anymore. No Cestus for him. Very interesting. He's going to stim his Mavericks on the roundabout a little bit, but I don't think the flank is going to offer him too much. More Masons on the way, just off of the rally. Throw him at the problem, see if it finishes it off. Now he pulls back, but look! Look! Three Crow's still in the game! Rainaril has a pretty big force over here at his natural choke, but it's probably not going to contest what Hit 'em Up is cooking up. He has to find the magic timing of when Hit 'em Up sends his army out. And look, the one Sentinel heckling him from downtown is going to force a fight. Shambler's coming in with the rest of his army. Might be enough to riposte this assault, depending on where it is and where they catch it. At the same time, Rainaril is occupying Hit 'em Up's attention. Opportune moment for the Shambler to crush Hit 'em Up's Zerg force in his main base before it reaches his main base. The Heracles are taking so many hits before they die, but I still think this is going to be enough for Hit 'em Up to hold with relative ease. And now he can try to focus the rest of his army, but oh my god, Shambler's got a lot of bio, and he stims over with a full 360-degree surround as the reinforcements come in. Hit 'em Up is out of here. It is a total massacre as the third base falls for him, thanks to Rainaril's attempts. He's going to have to rebuild that and the vast majority of his army. This is given time for Grass Eater to try to restake his claim, take his natural again. I don't know what Three Crow is doing, but he's not harvesting resources. He's just doing his best to hold on and make it as inefficient as possible for anyone to attack into him. Now Shambler has a massive blob of Cyprians and Harakans and Mavericks. It's just a pure bioman. Bactylisks beat this every day of the week. I don't think Shambler can change the math, change the calculus. He's got to find a different target. At the very least, he knows that Hit 'em Up must be having his attention contained a little bit. The Blackjacks are not going to be super good. Truce, he says, as he falls back. But I don't know if who he's talking to exactly, because Hit 'em Up is diving in and cleaning up the rest of his rally. This is unfortunate here. Now Truce? 1. I don't know what that's about. Red will kill us both. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's what he's saying. The 1 must have been him trying to get his control group back. All right. Three Crow will take Neutron's position. Spiritually playing from Neutron's carcass. But if you'd rather lose, sure. Let's kill each other. Well, I don't think that's going to be necessary, as Hit 'em Up is now going to be 2v1ing with the Bactylisks. How good are the Bactylisks, actually? And we might have an opportunity to find out. The Masons and the Mavericks need to get directly in the face of the Bactyls to stop their bounces from spreading. But, you know, the Blackjacks are doing a lot better versus the Bactyls than the Bio was. So that is a fair argument in favor of the strategy that Grass Eater has gone. He's also actuating his tier 2 for air, going for Gorgons. Meanwhile, Rainaril's still just kind of sticking to Madcap Huracan right now. A couple of the Blackjacks kind of leaking through across the bridge. Controlling all the units is definitely a tall order as the Ministry gets rebuilt for the Shambler's 4th base. He's spreading out his own influence, taking a 5th in Neutron's natural, but there's still plenty of Three Crow over here. Actually, that's going to be his 6th base, thinking about it. Also, he's taking the top, the upper, like, 4th, if you want to call it that, or, like, the Neutron 3rd. All right. The middle of the map is sight to a crunch. The Bactyls just tearing through the Blackjacks. It looks like they did not have the positional advantage that they needed. Hydra-backed proving a lot more sufficient than just regular-backed. Cataphract Madcap, how long can Tier 2 hold out versus the Tier 1 army that Shambler is assembling? He wants to try to quash the rebels on his northern front before too long. The Gorgons come in to try to offer what they can, but they are no wyverns. They are no salamanders. The Bactylisks eat them for dinner. A lot of devouring happening in this game. The Cataphracts are absolutely doing the same kind of thing, but we don't have any more coming. Three Crow did not have the money, so he is on borrowed time. But how many of the enemy units can the Cataphracts claim? I think they're going to clean this up. Shambler, now having to focus his attention elsewhere, has another round of units. Does he want to fire back and kill these Cataphracts again? I don't know. I don't know if he can afford to do that. 2 more Cataphracts have been queued up. He's going to send even more units where that came from, but this is the time that Hit 'em Up chooses to heckle his southern flank. And surely, Shambler recognizes this is the more emergent threat. He pulls all of the forces back. Some of them are still getting hooked up on the Cataphracts, but it's not going to be enough. And Raineril dives forward onto Hit 'em Up as he attacks the Shambler. Certified FFA moment as the Bactylists are reigning supreme across the middle of the bridge. No matter how many Hurricanes and Masons you throw at them, there's more where that came from. And look at the Lakers just shredding so many of the bio units. Raineril not spreading his army. The Lakers are absolutely mincing him. There's so many kills on all those Lakers. A veritable massacre, a bloodbath. The game mode living up to its potential, to its namesake. KBRB Food here, he says, and he just moves towards Shambler. Shambler is actually going to lose a lot to this Titan. All right, the DoorDash is about to get taken care of. Maybe he'll even continue BRBing to eat up some of that food. Eat him up. My God. The sheer number of Zerg that are still on A move here. This is a real threat for Shambler. He does need to consider this. And Hit 'em Up, honestly, despite his 0 APM, he's got some units to cover drops in the main. He's got Lakers in his natural and his third. He is sitting pretty right now. And somebody needs to mute the audio from the stream or plug in some headphones because you are leaking information to everybody who's playing. You fuck. All right, sorry, I just had to discipline whoever was doing that. But now we have the Mavericks and the Heracles going plenty of crazy versus the army that has been A-moved. The Ministry soaking up some of the damage. I actually still think this Bactylisk squad is going to be enough. And, well, maybe not. The Cyprians are going to come in to help that. The Heracles definitely absorbing a ton of the pressure there in the middle of the map. Three Crow has a ton of Cataphracts moving forward. And I guess he'll force Shambler's hand. He can't take advantage of the fact that his opponent is idle. Just take a look at that 0 APM, you know what I mean? Screenshot this, save it to your folder, use it versus Hit 'em Up later. Cataphracts are now being torn asunder. You are an ant pissing on a giant. Well, Shambler is known for his poetry, that's for sure. Only a couple of Cataphracts are left. As the Neutron Natural was destroyed, Shambler does not have that base anymore. But he's got a bridge of death. I say me all good, but actually I didn't get the, I did not get the hash, so I don't know what he's talking about. Well, the Gorgons are eating Shambler's 5th base while we talk about this. And Shambler's just smoking hash, and that's why he's talking about it. Adding more captaincies, seeing what else he can do. Hit 'em Up now moving forward with his Lake is. He's going to start cleaning out the position there. He has lost his 3rd base in the meanwhile. Raineril has been able to make things happen in that front. And once he realizes there's no more Lakers, he can absolutely threaten this position. The Lakers moving forward. They're going to get in his face, sacrificing so many of them before the burrow. Now he'll finally do the burrow. Where's the detection? The answer is you just stand on him. Oh, man, that's a bit of a bungled strike. A lot of those Lakers were not burrowed for a very, very long time. And at the same time, Raineril dives forward, says, Hit 'em Up's eating food, I can win! And he dives forward and absolutely eviscerates him. There's only a couple of static defense here. A lot of his units are stuck there. Some reclaimed Lakizilisks even. An opportunity for Shambler to get some revenge later. Somehow 3 Crow still in the game, by the way. That is very impressive. Meanwhile, the Gorgons are heckling. What an idiot. Raineril's going to dive forward a little bit more. And we'll see what he can make happen. We've got one Phalanx here to try to break the circuits. I think with all of the Madcaps and the Hurricanes, there's a lot to do there. A lot to do. And Shambler, despite his offenses, Hit 'em Up says GG. So this is actually going to leave us in an interesting position. Because the Northern Rebels, as I was calling them earlier, 3 Crow, still active here in the top. Raynarel spending down his money quite nicely, keeping his stuff going. He finishes the job on Hit 'em Up, which is probably going to be a strange moment for him. He's like, what? I beat Hit 'em Up? That's crazy. As the Blackjack army, the Blackjack onslaught will continue. I think the Gorgons got caught somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me anyway, and at least as of right now, a couple more units are being sent over to the front, but it looks to me like this is going to be too many Blackjacks for the Shambler to deal with. He doesn't have that much money in the bank either, so it's not like he can really queue too many units up. If Raynarel decides to time his attack now, he can take advantage of Grass Eater and get some very, very good value. Hit what? I don't know. What? Yeah, true. Hit what? What him up? Hit him up? Well, at least as of right now, the Ministry falls back. I wonder if he's just now reacting to the fact that Hit him up left and he realizes that that frees his opponent up to just eat his lunch with all these Blackjacks. There's even some Cataphracts here as well, which we saw how good they can be versus Bio earlier. That's another Ministry gone. It looks like Shambler is on the outs. Not much left that he can do to deal with that. I don't think 3-Crow will be able to do too much, but maybe he can kind of stall Grass Eater up. That would definitely favor Raynarel's position at that point, right? Because you look at what Raynarel has, and really it's a lot of time, it's a lot of space. Sure, he's got some tech. He's adding more Palladiums to make even more Phalanxes in case he needs those later. Might be aware, potentially, of the spot that, like, I don't know if he saw any of the Gorgons fly over or whatever. He wants to get some Madrigals out. All right, well, Shambler does not GG. Why would he type that when he can type other things? Blackjacks and Cataphracts are apparently the answer to all of the Bio woes. Honestly, we saw some really interesting mechanics in this game, like or matchups of units in this game. It feels like, anyway, we definitely had a lot of potential for interesting decisions made by everybody. All right, well, the rest of the army seems like it's going to be earmarked for Raynarel's side of the map. I don't think we had anybody stay in the game. Yeah, Neutron left. I don't think we had anybody stay in the game for the POV there, so... All right. As of right now, this is definitely favoring Raynarel. He did lose a lot of the Blackjacks there in general. He's got a lot more waiting, so Raynarel's going to have a lot to fight through. 3-Crow slowly building his army up. I thought maybe he was making a guild hall. No, that's another captaincy. The one Cataphract cannot stand versus all of those madcaps. Yeah, I do remember that Shambler mentioned that there was a hash, but I didn't get one. However, his ID was me, so maybe I'm out of sync for everybody else. At least I got to see Shambler taking down a peg. So there is that. I was wondering what that sound was. All right, I will ask somebody in the Discord server to stream the POV for me. Hey, Raynarel, can you stream your POV? Raynarel will oblige. I am asking him while he might be under attack in his version of events. We will see. All right, the map is pretty dark for him. Looks like he just held off a big attack from Grass Eater's Blackjack. So let's switch over to that POV. And maximize, of course. Maximize. Seamless, I tell you. Seamless. Okay, there we go. Now we're in. Raynarel helpfully providing his POV to us as we watch the game from his perspective. He's going to go ahead and try to take a third base, or fourth base. Unfortunately for him, he has to contend with the massive army that Grass Eater has amassed. And remember, lurking behind all of this, 3-Crow is continuing to mass up captaincies, cataphracts, madcaps, and the phalanxes should help Raynarel hold this position. It is a pure Terran derby now. All Zergs have been eliminated, and of course Shambler. In fact, it's kind of surprising. I mean, Neutron always seems to be really unlucky in these FFAs. His original Weekend War, P-Sense killed Neutron, and it was like the first person to fall. And now he's been, every time we host an FFA, he's always the guy who dies first. I'm sure there have been games, in fact, I'm remembering a game where he lasted a lot longer than that. But that is very funny to me. That is very funny to me. Poor guy. Now, the Gorgons are striking Raynor, and he's not immediately realizing it. Now figuring it out, he's got Phalanxes. He doesn't really have any anti-air. He's lost a lot of his workers, and he's going to have to pull his Phalanxes back to safety, actually, away from where the air threat is. Otherwise, the Gorgons are just going to eat those as well. So the Anchors are going to go ahead. They have Madcaps in them. They are going to go ahead and try to land in more defensive positions as he starts to queue up some Goliaths, but he's lost his Atlas, which is a big, big loss. He was actually getting pretty close to being able to make a Daedala. If he didn't want to make more units in the meanwhile. Now, the Mavericks are going to be able to eat this cloud of Gorgons. I know it might not immediately look like it, but especially when that stim kicks in, they're going to have the DPS necessary to clear that out. And that will leave Grass Eater in an interesting position where I think a lot of his ground army got lost, but he can rebuild that. He has the resources to. He has the base count to. Meanwhile, we are going to need to see what Three Crow has cooking in the background of all this. So if Three Crow is attacking in to where Grass Eater is as of right now, which actually I should be able to tell you guys, it doesn't look like it. Three Crow's expanding to the top left, and Grass Eater is just slowly pushing out into like the middle of the map and maybe taking more bases there while he's doing a little bit of heckling to Raynor. So that's a little bit of update there that I can tell you from looking at the cameras on the minimap in my OBS game. So now Raynor is definitely in a bit of a pickle. He's got to take this depreciated base, partially depleted, courtesy of Hit 'em Up's Drolef count. He doesn't have the ability to get any really significant gains in resources at this point. Everything is depleted on the map, except for maybe some stuff in the middle. And I guess Grass Eater's like 3rd and 4th probably aren't depleted by now. Maybe the 3rd is. Grass now going to see if he can push forward. Three Crow has not yet confirmed his position. So Grass Eater is only focused on killing Raynor. This might be the last stand for him. He's got a lot of Madcaps, but they're constantly moving over, and even though there's no splash damage, the Cataphracts are kind of like mini splash damage options, as the Phalanxes are going to be shelled. There's so many Katas. I don't think that's going to be enough. And I think we might end up seeing GGs. I wish I had told Raynor to make sure to stay in the game because he's the only one with a functional stream. Three Crow, I don't think, streams audio. But I might just have to ask him for it, yeah. So he's going to say GG. Wait, Raynor, don't leave. You're my eyes.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
All right. I got him. I got him, boys. I got him. So while we watch Raynor get owned in the last moments here, he can make a valiant stand. Grass Eater will call GG as well, like just an acknowledgement. Three Crow is still in the game. Three Crow, the big reveal of what Three Crow has been doing is about to come as soon as the last of Raynor's structures are destroyed. We should probably add like a surrender button so that you can just choose to do that if you're done. But you know, that's all right. That's not that big of a deal. That'll be something we investigate. That's like something that would be super easy to add in any other environment, but in StarCraft, UI modding is so difficult. That being said, this does show us a pretty big show of force from Grass Eater. I don't know if it's enough to win outright because Three Crow has had so much time kind of to himself in the meanwhile. Let's actually check in with him. He's got quite the cloud of units on my screen, so that means that he's got a pretty powerful set of forces. I'm guaranteeing you he's taken his natural already, his old natural, from where he spawned in the top left. I don't know about whether he's taken where my mouse is, he's taken over here in these two positions. I don't know about his main, but definitely his natural. So we'll have to check in with him as the last of the structures are destroyed. Those fulcrums also need to go, and he's going to need to, I think he's going to need to self-destruct his quarry as well. I don't know if that counts. If it's doesn't have a structure on it. I'll go ahead and tell him. Oh, the Heracles gets a bunch of kills at the end. Yeah, look at this Cataphract cloud. This is a lot of Katas. Like, no joke there. So, does he know? It's the quarry. There you go. Yeah. No, he wants to. Oh, okay. All right, so as we see, this is happening, we've got Three Crow engaging with the army in the middle of the map. A perfect and opportune time for him to take advantage of the fact that so many Cataphracts were sent to the other side of the map. And now, with this giant army, Three Crow is looking to get his belated birthday FFA win in Weekend War. I think he might be able to do it, but remember, there's a ton of Katas on the way. from the bottom right. So he's got a limited time to actually break this position, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and concede this fight for now, falling back as 16 times 2 Heracles are being made. Remember, you get double units in Massacre, so 32 Heracles are about to pop, and that might be his next attack timing. As they come on in already ready, charging forward, I am a hero! The Heracles unit response as it dives in to try to slow down some of those cataphracts, letting the walkers of Three Crow catch up to him. Oh my god, it's a lot of explosions back and forth. This is TVT for you, laser fights. And you know, I mean, this is looking all right for Three Crow. He might still be able to push in. Remember, those reinforcements have now made it for Grass Eater, so he can at least stall out. Look at resources for Three Crow, definitely favoring him. He's got more bases that are not depleted on his side of the map. Neutron got eliminated so early, didn't even mine from his natural. Shambler wasn't able to get much mining done before Grass Eater and Three Crow took him down a peg. So that kind of leaves us in a situation where the Heracles, the Blackjacks, the Katos are all going to end up getting mulched on this ramp if they dare to step aside it. And this whole time, Three Crow does have his main back up. I don't know what structures he has over there, but he's got quite a few of them. It looks like they're more probably more captaincies or maybe even more mantles. But judging by the minimap box, I'm going to say captaincy. Well, there's still a lot of Katas for Grass Eater. And it does look like a few of them have fallen. Looks like 4 Katas went down. A 5th one might be soon to fall. We've got a lot more units on the way, though. Look at all the Heracles. Three Crow just needs to kind of box select his whole army and send it down, but it's a bit hard to do as he dives forward with it. I still think he's going to be all right, but this is looking like a very deadly position. Rainwell remarking that this is potentially screenshot worthy. If only it weren't for all of his order lines, you know what I mean? But yeah, it looks like actually this is seeming to me like Grass Eater has way more than what Three Crow can handle, and Grass will end up being the victor of this engagement. I don't think that Three Crow has that much. He's got so many minerals, but not much Vespine. He could still order another few units up, but he's just feeding into Grass Eater's army right now. So that looks to me like we can safely say Grass Eater is victorious. GG's, Jimmy. Will Mike Hawk fit? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if the answer is... Oh, I love the cataphract in the 10 sender. That's beautiful. Well, I think that's basically a wrap. Grass Eater has so many units. I love mankind, says Toyota. That's true. That's true.
Imagine one nuke right there.
Imagine you and Top Ramen when I make it so that the nuke range actually works correctly and does double instead of the half that it's currently at.
Oh, hell yeah. Looking forward to that day.
Nuke buff?
Yeah, it's currently bugged and only deals damage in 4 range when it should be 8. So I was investigating it, but I couldn't fix it in time for the patch. So that'll be for next week, or next 2 weeks.
Oh, so it's still gonna be broken for the invitation?
Yeah, I'm not going to make balance changes or bug fixes that affect balance for the invitation. Even right now, nuking is still pretty good. It's just it doesn't deal as much upfront damage as it really ought to. Well, the cinematic shots of Three Crow getting absolutely annihilated, despite his best efforts. That's a wrap, boys. I agree with Terran Supremacy, I guess. Grass Eater has so many units. He will not be defeated. He will not be dismantled. He will be destroyed. And the he there is Three Crow. I guess Grass Eater will be destroyed later. I was hoping for Three Crow to get his birthday Weekend War dub, but that's it. GG's. Sorry, dude.
Good game.
All right. Now, we've got a lot of people in this voice chat here. This is probably the most people we've ever had in our voice chat for Weekend War at one time. So, I definitely feel like we need multiple lobbies. But for the first one that I do, let's do... One thing, we've never done omnipresence on Oil Australia. So, I'm doing that. Jimmy, change your name. That's not even the real Jimmy, that's grass. We're release. Always release for Weekend War. For that name. I said change your name, and then I thought it was grass. Well, he'll find out one day when he can listen. Shambler thinks everybody else is muted. Well, that's beautiful, actually. Yeah, just don't say anything. Don't just leave it. It'll be fine. Shambler's like, why am I kicked? And I told him like 5 times, and he's like, I guess everybody's muted. Beautiful. No, hit him up said that he's back on the same name. He's back under Absolute Jimmy. I told him to change it because of cum. I'm not gonna fucking put that on the screen. Especially after what he typed in the last lobby. What an idiot. Yeah, all good. There's still time. No, you gotta eat slowly, hit him. It keeps you full. You can eat the same food half as fast and half as much and still be the same full. Okay, hit him up had chicken spring rolls, fried calamari, spicy chicken salad from a Thai place, and Thai noodles. Okay. Champler might find out that his speakers are off. I don't know why Shambler can't hear us. I assume his speakers are off. That's alright. Yeah, we don't. That's fine. Ah. Recor says Discord might have changed. Oh, okay, never mind. So Shambler can hear the stream, but his yeah. So 3Core said his Discord audio device probably got owned. Discord probably changed it on him for some reason. Kasuga will join us, as well as Milestone. It'll be the first time that we get those two in here. Very cool. Well, is there anybody else who's new? No, Toyota's back, Rainerol's back, 3Crow's back, Head 'em Up is back. That's beautiful. Oh, it looks like, Bariso, Green Eggs, maybe Sausage Lord. They both ended up playing. It's beautiful. So we got Rainerell R, Three Crow R, Toyota R, Kasuga R, Jimmy R, Shambler R, and Milestone R. So that's... I think that's everybody. Okay. LHF? Yes, Kasuga. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. We've got Omnipresence, Free for All on Australia. I don't think we've ever done this before. Very exciting. In the top left, we have Kasuga. It looks like he is either Beaster Brown or... no, he's not. I'll never guess this color correctly. Golden Brown. Oh, he's bronze. Well, sorry, Kasuga. I don't make the rules. In the top right, we have Rainerell, Dark Sapphire. In the mid right, we have Hit 'em Up, aka Bing Bong. He was playing as Blizzard Entertainment earlier, and then he changed it in the lobby or whatever. Kind of funny. We're going to go ahead and set it to high latency, just in case that helps smooth out the internet a little bit. He is our Alice Blue player. And in the bottom right, we've got the Shambler. He seems to be our Tyrion Purple player in the bottom right. Bottom left, we have Milestone, aka Mountain, as our red player. In the mid left, we have Three Crow. And he is Sunglow. And in the dead center, we have Toyota Miguel, who is teal. And the reason I didn't say the races is because they are every race. We've got Omnipresence, baby. It's Omni time. Players control every race in Omnipresence. Looks like Kasuga will be going double Larvosk. An interesting build. Rainerell going a single Stockade. Hit him up making a Fulcrum first. And we saw double Stockade out of the Shambler. Toyota is actually going to go mostly Zerg heavy here. He's going for 2 Kagrins. I'm assuming one of those will be a Larvosk at least. And a Hydrith. Three Crow's tank is turtling with every race. Pool first, Pylon Warden, Kagrint. Into a Circuit. That is an interesting build. Oh, and Milestone is going to go ahead and drop one of each worker down here and make a Nexus. Very interesting. Expanding to the island immediately. I love it. We'll just kind of keep doing a rotation over and seeing what everybody is making as we continue to find some value. Oh, look at this Kasuga going for quad Larvosk. Dude, Kasuga looks like a top-level player already. I know he's still got a lot to learn, but he's very new, and yet he's got cool SimCity. Double Larvosk Hydrith for Toyota, as previously predicted, although he's also looking for a fast Expo. Not the fastest in the lobby. That goes to Milestone. Gateway and Stockade coming, as well as what I assume will be a Spraith later for Three Crow based on the positioning. Stockade Fulcrum from Kasuga. No Protoss tech leveraged just yet. And Rainerell is adding some Larvosks, more Stockades. He's a Terran player at heart, so I wouldn't predict him to lean more towards the... what do you call it? I wouldn't predict him to go for the thing that he's done. The Zerg style. So it's interesting to see what he ends up going for. Maybe he's just going to use them for worker production. That's a common refrain. A couple of Lobotomy Mines have been placed, and now it's a Circuith plus Cyclops, and that is going to clean house versus Shambler's Mavericks. Absolute devastation. Hit 'em Up is pleased by his annihilation of the Shambler, and they will likely clash with each other very soon. Ministry on the way there as the Omnivale continues to buzz out Masons. Okay. Toyota in the middle of the map starting to go into some Protoss tech. We've got Zealots and Hurricanes. Zethrakor is on the way as well. A Khaz'trith and a Circuith. Not a quad Larvosk after all. Interesting. Okay. Maybe he doesn't know what the Khaz'trith does, and he's just finding out now. Stockade Scrapyard. Interesting. Interesting. Another bit of a clash here as the Masons are ranged down by some Mavericks. Hurricanes are on the way. Groleths are welcoming the incoming Hurricanes. The Ministry does finish, so there's not really going to be an opportunity to slow that. And the Hurricanes won't really last too long either. Back up here, we heard I thought I heard a sieve complete. No, it was a Palladium, okay. More Kagrants. A lattice on the way. Interesting, interesting. He's still got this Drolith over here, but he's not using it for an expansion just yet. 3-Crow kind of roving the map, but there is a single burrowed Drolith there for Milestone. It's giving a lot of vision. He's burrowing everything preemptively. Oh, if he loses the Omniveil, he won't be able to remake any of those. That. Okay. And then he does at least have one of every worker down here, but he's mostly making Protoss stuff. Well, 3-Crow is going to be happy to use Zealot, Hurakan, Zethrakor, and Quaz to tear down that Omniveil. One Mason ends up moving out, but Toyota has already found some foes. Milestone just kind of scouting around. 2 burrowed Droleths escape the wrath. A little bit of a line in the sand being drawn here as mech versus bio. Every race is optional here, but these 2 players are playing as Terrans. That's a pretty good stun, and the rest of them are going to be even better versus the Cyclops Phalanx. Yeah, you are not going to be liable to make it through there. Immediate mincemeat of all of the bio forces. The Zoryus are not going to assist too much. That Phalanx gets unpacked. Three-Crow still kind of sharking around. Might end up finding himself inside Toyota's base soon. And Hit 'em Up now pushing forward. Big spread of damage out. And Mountain just randomly says 4. I don't know what's up with that. Oh. Yeah, I think maybe Milestone might be on the wrong version or something. It happens. Who is 4? It's Shambler. Shambler was already rage quitting because of the Phalanx creep. Well, 3-Crow's going to come in and find his carcass, as well as an awful lot of Phalanxes on the high ground. He's got a nice little army there with the Zealots, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. At least he's going to try to use the splash damage from the Phalanxes against his opponent, but he's only good enough to kill a couple of Cyclops there, a trio of them, if you will. Toyota thinking about maybe dropping the hatch. He did take that base, but he's not actually saturated it. That's what all of these workers are for, is they're moving up to saturate the natural that's farther away than any of the other positions he could have taken. Very amusing. Toyota makes interesting FFA decisions. Plenty of mines being deployed here as it looks like Hit 'em Up will continue to push out. Having conquered his... Can you call it a nemesis in the Shambler? I like the idea that, you know, Hit 'em Up beating the Shambler in some of these FFAs is like, Shambler will say, Hit 'em Up, you never face me. And then Hit 'em Up will be like, yeah, but I beat you in all the FFAs, so what's up? I just find that idea amusing. I don't even think Hit 'em Up would say that, but it could be pretty funny. Okay, double Khaz'Trith and Tier 2 Terran for Kasuga. He's been left alone to do as he pleases, capping the gas in the third base. Not the natural, but he's got really good saturation over here. Probably could transfer some of those workers off to the side. Tier 2 Zerg on the way here for Raynarel. Interesting choice. Again, Raynarel's a Terran player at heart, so to see him go more Zerg heavy, that's going to be something that most players do not predict. 3-Crow gunning it as Milestone just continues to make workers, add Stargates. He's going to try to go Sky Toss here. His Drolets are going to eat 3-Crows up a little bit. He should just take this fight. I don't know. Yeah, okay, there you go. He's good. Now, will that result in 3-Crow doing something? It looks like the answer is no. He's going to just take more bases. Raynarel considers pushing forward, but seems to have, I don't know if he got splashed a little bit or something like that, maybe with his Izira cores. Atlas complete for Hit 'em Up. He's slowly tearing things down. Oh, I just got a crash. We might have to cast from POV. Indeed, I'll need somebody's POV. All right. We are back. Okay, so we are now casting from Rainerill's POV. He was last seen heckling, hit him up a little bit. And my guess, right? My guess is that hit him up as he was clearing out the Shambler's base there to take is probably consolidating, getting a couple of additional bases out. We've got Harakans, we've got the Mutath Spire on the way. I think he might be going Muta. Yeah, okay. So Rainerill's going to try to spam the Mutas out. That's a very frequent tactic used to in free-for-alls to kind of like get good economic damage. And he's going to go ahead and try to cap the... oh, there you go. He's figured it out. He's going to go ahead and try to cap the geysers with his Excisants. I think the main focus here for Rainerill is going to have to be like staying alive versus the death push if Hit Him Up tries to come to his front door. And he's got an okay ground army to do that. But he also wants to see if he can get some scouting done. Also, Milestone took the bottom base. Nobody looked primed to take the top base. Kasuga might. Kasuga may do that. He's the one who's closest to it, of course. Three Crow also has that FFA dog in him. So it would be very, very likely for Three Crow to do that. Looks like more Izira cores are in the cards. And Hit Him Up is going to attack Rainerill's front here. So he's going to have to fall back and consider his options as the Vultures do their best to make things happen. Oh, the Mutaflock will continue to mass up. No, it's actually going to dive forward with it. And shift-click the attack command. That'll be Hit 'em Up's main base, so that will force some kind of reaction. Looks like there were already some anti-air defenses there, but it's just some Watchdogs. Can easily overpower those with the 16 mutas that he came in with. Might end up losing another one. Narrowly avoids it. No, it does end up going down. But now he can go after the workers. So what's Hit 'em Up's reaction here? He's not pulling the workers. Couple of Sirens here to pull the mutas in further. Honestly, that might have even been a fool's errand because the Sirens may have actually been overwhelmed by that many mutas if they just dove on them. But you never know what's behind the Sirens, so makes a lot of sense to try to fall back. Shambler adds context to say that he was going to Island Float. Unfortunately for him, there was already a bunch of static defense preventing that, so he was dead. I don't think he would have been able to expand anywhere else with Hit 'em Up gunning for him so aggressively. But with all that said, we have Izira cores. We got a couple of stray workers here that Rainerill can wrangle. A little bit more Vespine now as well, now that the Excisants are done. It does feel to me like he needs a little bit more gas income, though. So his mutas are setting their sights on those islands in the north. See what he can do here. Got some Gosvoleths out. Okay, he's going to expand with them. Yeah, he's really going the Zerg route. Interesting choice, you know? Yes, sir. He's got phalanxes for the defense, right? Like Terran's strengths, if you had to like boil it down to one thing, would be like staying power once they're set up somewhere. And normally that gets actuated as defender's advantage, but you can make outposts forward out in the map and deploy your units and stuff. So it's not really a big surprise that something like that is possible. Gonna add a couple of Vestries. I wonder if this is for Shamans. Imagine healing your flock of mutas in between harassment runs with Shamans. On paper it's good, but I feel like in practice it does require a lot of APM. We'll see if Rainerill can keep up. There is a very gas-heavy base to the north of Rainerill's spawn position, but it's not being leveraged right now. I wonder if he was trying to like figure out where to put his stuff or whatever. WTF, Scout Man, stop it. It looks like Hit 'em Up is contending with Milestone, of all people, making a lot of Panoptises elsewhere. There was another POV that was offered up. Maybe we can switch between them esports style. Can I, Discord's UI is really good. Let's take a look. All right, we're going to switch in to see what Toyota is doing. angering the hit-em-up gods. He's going to come. It's just pure. It's Siren. It's Siren forever. Infinity Siren. That's what we're seeing right now. Well, Toyota, how many of your units would you like to get pulled in? Siren Striga, man. Honestly, he's still got a very powerful force here. I saw some Cabalists mixed in too, if he can get them in there. Diving forward with his Izira cores to spread that damage out worldwide. That is a little bit of a rough one. Hit him up. Definitely going to be hurting there as he's lost a lot of his army. He might be getting kind of spread around a little bit. Three Crow is off to the west of where Toyota is. And look at that. At the same time, we've got none other than Rainarel coming in to heckle his main base with all of the mutas. Hey, you're my neighbor. LOL. It's true. It's true. The Sirens are going to try to clean that out. If the Omnivale dies, I don't know that it's going to be a massive shock. Yeah, it's very, very close to death, so that'll be a wrap. He's going to lose a lot of mutas for that effort, I think, but, you know, he still brings it down. Definitely can't stick around to deal with the Atlas. So, no Omnivale. That is rough on Omnipresence. I don't know if Hit 'em Up has workers anywhere else. And switch in to check out the POV of Toyota again as he tries to rebuild his position. It's got still a pretty nice ground army, but it's only nice versus other ground armies. The anti-air threat is potentially quite powerful, especially as a horde of Panoptises has been sighted. He has a bunch of skits to deal that spread damage, but Milestone's still rocking the pure Panoptis strat. Sky Toss on an island. Ugh. Oh, the God. Oh, the FFA, the FFA power. Really quite heavy. Unfortunate. Well, Three Crow's accepting pressure from Toyota as he's trying to send his army to counter all the Panoptises, and his Iris that was made in his third base for some reason. Nabline approves of this decision as it falls. More charlatans on the way. Meanwhile... Wait, I just switched the POV to the same one. There you go. All right. Meanwhile, we do indeed have Rainarel rocking out with additional bases. I should ask everybody in the lobby to stream. I should ask Hit 'em Up to stream. I should ask 3Crow to stream. Actually, everybody should stream. I'm just swapping through people's POVs. It's epic. There you go. Well, meanwhile, Hit 'em Up is just going to dive in with a couple of vultures. I'm going to see if we have any other streamers. Not yet. We'll keep an eye out. Honestly, what would be kind of epic is to do a game like this where 8 players are in an FFA and they all stream, and I just check all of their POVs. That might be something that we have to do, because obviously you can't have a witness slot if there's the witness slot is the 8th player. Remastered is what added the dedicated replay slots. Something to think about for future Weekend Wars. Now, Rainarel is still hurting a little bit there. Meanwhile, it looks like 3Crow is getting ready to dive forward with his army. The Unars come out. That's some endgame Protoss tech right there that Toyota is now having to contend with. Unlucky for us, we got him at a point where his internet was kind of fucky. So that is a wrap for him. Quick check, and look at this. We get to see Hit 'em Up's POV as well. He's constantly getting the runaround. Desperately trying. I don't have global vision, man. It's true. It's true. You should just type skill issue. All right. Well, he is going to have to contend with the army of Rainarel on the ground, and that is an area where I think Hit 'em Up is primed to be very, very nice. Watchdogs have been added to try to defend the main base from any muta run-bys, but there's Khazitra Cesians empowering Phalanxes to shoot multiple projectiles. This is looking pretty scary. However, the Mutaflock comes on in. Does he have splash damage? Yes, he has Heracles to bring down the Mutaflock if he can, but I still think this might be a little bit too little, too late on Hit 'em Up's side, as his army is going to get crushed. He does not have that much in the tank. We might be witnessing the fall of a giant. That being said, will there be much for Rainarel to push into Hit 'em Up's territory, especially with like Apostle Heracles, a couple of token lobotomy mines. His Phalanx is in defensive position. I don't know. I think he's actually okay. Gonna go ahead and cap his main ridge again, as he sometimes does. We'll take a listen or take a look at what Raineril is getting up to in the meanwhile. Fresh off his successful angle, he's seeing about maybe diving into the main base with his mutas, but instead he'll wait for a little bit more minerals, and then, and then, and then. Guys, I swear there's a thing that he can do. He's not doing it yet. Toyota is requesting a truce of some kind. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know. I think it's Raineril forgot. He forgot the thing he can do. No, Raineril, you're supposed to go to tier 3. You got 48 mutas though. There's nothing to scoff at. Take a quick look at everybody else. Looks like everything is quiet on the other fronts. I'm still watching to see if Raineril remembers to run it. He's got some good APM right now, but he needs to be EPM, right? He needs that efficiency going his way. Yeah, Hit 'em Up just steady building. Toyota trying to get his placements done. Still saturating these island bases with his Zerg, and now he remembers to go tier 3! Yes! Tier 3 Zerg for Raineril. 54 mutas, definitely a threat. Might be able to canvas the area. Milestone still exists somewhere on the bottom of the map, and now Toyota, he's now going to be heckled by all of those mutas. And Toyota's like, no, please, spare me. Instead, he's actually like, no, I will defeat you like a man with my cataphracts. Well, that embassy isn't long for this world, and the SimCity definitely hurting Toyota more than it's helping here. That reservoir is going to go down. The rogue gallery is liable to hit the deck in the same way. Raineril, back to the drawing board. Hit 'em Up now, thinking about maybe pushing forward as well. Now that Phalanx isn't going anywhere. Going to hell, maybe. There's a group of 4 ground units, I think? Or maybe those are... Yeah, so a group of his ground units have been totally taken out. The mutas are now thinking about charging forward and clearing out the apostles. We got to be watchful if there's been any AoE units that have been assembled here by Hit 'em Up. Otherwise, he might end up just losing all of his apostles to the muta stack. The Siren's doing an admirable job of pulling them in, but it still feels like these apostles are getting absolutely rinsed, and indeed, that is the case. Maybe not expecting the mutas to be hitting the ground army, and instead thinking that they're going to go after his main base, and that's where all of his splash is, but he retreats as Hit 'em Up thinks about what else he can do. He's got a bunch of Olympians. He's going to try to use Raineril's favored unit against him, seeing if that will deal some psychic damage. But as we can see right now, Raineril is sitting in a very powerful position. Let's check in with Toyota. What's he up to? Still just trying to do his best, just seeing what he can make happen here as... He's trying to empower all of the production that he can. Yeah. That probably blocks some units from escaping. I think he's going to lock some autocrats in there. We just saw this Tazral Haunt be mutated by Raineril. And that means that we are going to see those mutas turn in to a very exciting situation there. The Tazgrilisk is a very powerful unit. It has the... Zero Core passive that gives you the extra bounces or whatever if you're close enough to your target. And it's easier to do that with Tazgralisks because they fly and they have more range. So definitely a dangerous position there. Looks like he had a move order under the Escagant, which is interesting. 71 of them, that could be a really big move. Bariso reminding us that a lot of gas just got eaten by what Hit 'em Up did, losing all of those apostles. He's making a lot of star pads. I see what he's doing. Star pads now train Valkyries. You get them directly from the star pad now. And so he doesn't need to invest all that resources into the star port. Instead, he's going to dive forward with an ocean of Valkyries and see what more he can do there. That is an exciting prospect, All right. He's making more captaincies. Probably a good move to go... Oh, he's just adding more Tinker's Towers for the Sirens and Strigas. I thought maybe he'd just make them for Heracles production. Did make a couple of Valkyries there. He's going to order up another round. Well, it's funny. You could use you could select your race as random and then use that to dictate which race you lean towards. He's got the Protoss race like UI and advisor and stuff. That's not what he's actually using right now. I'm going to take a look and see if anybody else started streaming. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Rainaril is still massing up his Tazgralisks. 3-Crow and Milestone must be scuffling. Toyota's got a reasonable army. And yes, indeed, he has locked several of his autocrats inside his Crucible. That is what happens. Oh my Qs. Ah, he's going to lift that one. That's unfortunate because the Guild Hall is an expensive add-on. Oh, never mind. He's going to micro his... He's going to micro it. I do feel like at this point we're waiting for the hit-em-up Rainaril clash with the several Valkyries. Like by that point it'll probably be something like 12, 15 Valks versus the air stack. And that can be very deadly if Rainaril gets caught slipping. If he's mostly Tazgralisks, it might still be fine. But if the Valkyries stay with the ground army, then the bounces are going to be absorbed in some ways by the ground units, right? So he does end up losing a couple of ground units just to scout. The Phalanx is still there. No real surprises. That base in between Rainaril and Hit-em-Up's main, in the position where my mouse is, that's actually just a no man's land right now. Still only 7 Valkyries. Needs a couple more for my liking. Otherwise, I'm not comfy knowing what Rainaril is cooking. And Rainaril's sweeping on in now. What's the reaction here? Is he comes on back in, he's going to see the horde of Mutas, and he's going to hear the telltale sound of the Tazgralisks. He needs to make another couple of Valkyries. Meanwhile, he's only got 7 of them right now. That's really not enough, in my opinion, to make things happen. If he had another round, then maybe that would be different. His main base has been cleaned up. Rainaril is now going to try to move the Eraser elsewhere. That's a stack of Valkyries. Rainaril thinks Valkyries are garbage, and you know what? That's, like I predicted, that is not sufficient. Oh, some of the Valkyries actually getting revived. If they last long enough to get some splash damage, that's one thing. He needs another round of them. Where's his next Valkyrie rally? I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we're about to lose Hit-em-Up's POV. See if he has it in him to make it happen as Rainaril is indeed claiming victory here. He's got a lot of Oxylcesians just producing the Tazgralisks directly. A big float as well. A couple of Heracles Apostles making an attempted rally there, but a lot, this is like 70 units at the start, so he has trimmed up the fat a little bit, maybe closer to 100. Tazgralisks getting on top of the production. You're not going to get any units out of there now. I'm waiting to see where those Valks wound up. I don't know if even Hit-em-Up found them, or maybe they already died. A diadem shells. Diadems are hitting him from Kasuga up top. I actually forgot Kasuga was in the game. Where's Hit-em-Up's focus right now? He's just adding more and more star pads, trying to make more and more Valkyries, knowing that maybe that will be his pièce de résistance. Kasuga says, got you, but I think he doesn't realize what skedaddle means. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll skedaddle. Why not? Well, Rainaril is now kind of giving a little bit of pause. This is enough opportunity for Hit-em-Up to potentially amass the necessary crit mass of Valks. Doesn't have the best... he just found a couple of them up top. They got eaten without him realizing. I don't know if he knows that because he doesn't play with sound on usually. So I think he probably just heard he didn't hear what we heard. What we heard was the Blucha from the Valkyrie getting attacked. Only 10 of them. That's still more than they had before. That's still dangerous. I mean, listen, the splash will stack up. They need to be a little bit closer to the threat. You could see Rainaril actually kind of like microing away from them, but only now is he realizing, oh shit, I got to clear those. They might be terrible, but that's still going to be a lot, and I think at this point Hit-em-Up is indeed back to the drawing board. Toyota has been this like weird bulwark between the rest of the map and Rainaril, allowing Rainaril to just do what he wants to do with Hit-em-Up Milestone. Type in the LOL. Something must be going on the other side of the map between 3-Crow, Kasuga, and Milestone. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know what we missed from Hit-em-Up's POV, but You could tell that you heard a lot of sounds from Rainoril's combat units, and Rainoril wasn't even looking at the army. He wasn't even paying attention. Another round of Elks trying to go after the Tozgrolisks. They splash them down quite nicely, but there's just too many. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Valkyries forcing a GG out of Hit 'em Up. He's out. He's gone. See ya. Well, Rainoril will be satisfied with that. That's the second time that he has contributed directly to the demise of Hit 'em Up in this Weekend War. I can't believe it. He's proven us all so happy, so proud. Can't believe what he's been able to do. That being said, Hit 'em Up had to contend with the Shambler first. Then he had to contend with Milestone, Rainoril, and I think 3Crow or Toyota or something like that, attacking him all at the same time. So that was pretty impressive. Now we are down to just two POVs right now. Somehow, the Daedala is going to be placed by Toyota. He just needs to find an actual spot for it. There you go. He's going to put that down. But at the same time, Kasuga's about to find out the hard way that his opponent has Tier 3 Zerg Air. Maybe Rainoril is about to find out the hard way that Kasuga has Tier 3 Air of some kind. Let's find out. These free-for-alls keep delivering. I think Kasuga was in the chat, but he doesn't speak English very well, so when I was asking for a stream, he might not have known what I was talking about. 3Crow and Milestone have no such excuse then. All right. The paltry anti-air defenses here are not going to hold a candle to the eraser that Rainoril is providing, but look at the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs will certainly prove a little bit harder to bring down. Well, I say that, they end up melting. They were not attacking for a while. Where's the Magnetar Yamato when you need it? Irradiates could have been big. A Seraph didn't die, but it was pushed away. Rainoril now finding the little enclave of what Kasuga has. A Phobos arrives. A Phobos is deleted. Actually, it holds up a lot longer than I thought it would, dude. That was a combined army of like 80 units shooting it, and it lasted for a good solid like 10 seconds. Kasuga on Smileys. You know what Kasuga could have done here, funnily enough, is he could have taken one of his diadems that I know he has, and he could have, yeah, like right there, he could have targeted his own structure as a zoning tool. Because it does splash air units, it just can't target them directly. So it looks like right now the Tozgrolisk Mutalisk flock is once again unperturbed. No Centaurs for splash, no Magnetars for splash. The Minotaurs on a move command don't help. Just catches him at a very inopportune time. No Irradiate used. Maybe there was a chance for it, but... Oh, I thought the Seraph was shooting Irradiate missiles, but actually it was a Watchdog underneath it. So that whole island is completely taken out. No dice there. Let's check in with Toyota. What's Toyota doing? He's now pushing out. He sees a flock of 3Crow Mutas. I see similar antics are happening, while the rest of that island is cleared by Rainoril. Come on, when somebody uses air stacks, you always root against them, right? But right now, it looks like 3Crow is less of an air stack abuser, and even Milestone, despite being Toss, and despite being on an island, is less of an air stack abuser than Rainoril. So now everybody should root against Rainoril, obviously. That's just the way it goes. So, I don't know. As of right now, I'm watching Toyota do his best to try to move things through. He's got a pretty big army. If Rainoril just kind of pokes him a little bit, he's going to be in a rough spot. Now, though, Rainoril might have found a little bit of a different move. That looks like it is still Kasuga, though, so maybe not. Oh, look at all of those Minotaurs, though. They were massed up in a way that we did not expect. That is a wrap for most of the army. 18 Tozgrolisks are all that remain, and those are likely to get cleaned up there. Those were reinforcements. As of right now, Rainoril has to switch into Alcagalisks, he thinks. That's not where the most power you're going to get out of the army is, by the way. You probably want like a Stratholeths in this situation, get some Plagues out. Carapace Swarm and, Cascathalor versus the ground. The Terran Air is unmatched in many ways. I like that these titanic fights are happening while Toyota is none the wiser and just kind of poking around versus 3Crow. I don't know what happened with 3Crow and Milestone, but I assume it was something silly. Now, ooh. I also wonder what 3Crow is up to, but we will never know because he didn't stream. Yeah, I think maybe he's dead. That might be what happened. All right, Tier 2 being rebuilt in the same spot for probably the third time. Impressive stuff. The Minotaurs are now sweeping the top base. That will be a wrap there. Okay, Okay, well, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this off. The Azazels are definitely going to help with the armor, but they are in the back. So the Tozgralisks can snipe them. How fast is Kasuga's reaction time going to be with his air stack? It looks like some of the Azazels have already made it into a more defensive position. This one is notwithstanding there. And there's the turn. Double forecastle with Azazel Minotaur. You are not breaking through that army. No Seraphs to rend armor or to irradiate. Nothing at all, but it's still a total wipe, and the top bases are gone. He's going to add more Spraits, but what he needs... Oh, is the island player, LOL. He doesn't realize that the island was taken later. What Raynaril needs right now are like Vithrilisks for armor rend and his Thraitholeths for plague, you know, something like that. That would definitely be a different route. I am not 5. Well, I hoped not, Kasuga. He would be the best 5-year-old player of Cosmonarchy that I've ever seen otherwise. And also the only one. Toyota is continuing to rock and roll. I realized that my stream volume could be higher for Toyota. Something like that. And yeah, as of right now, what I'm seeing out of the mass embassy play of him just spamming artisans this whole time, he's trying to get his bank even higher, trying to get even more resources. And he is making his own tier 3 air. It looks like he's got paladins. He's making magnetars as safeties. The paladins, by the way, are pretty good versus air stacks as Terran.
Once more, sir. Inclement weather.
He realizes he desperately needs more Vespine, so he's going to go for that. He'll take a stab up towards the north. A couple of Kasuga units are there. Raynaril still holding on. No active threat from Kasuga yet. But look at all those cataphracts, even protected by Acestus. Don't worry, there's paladins. Spread some of that damage around. Yamato attempted to go for it, but it gets destroyed beforehand. Toyota shaking his screen left, right, and center. No wonder he's having a difficult time in this battle. But the lines are drawn. The lasers are out. He's got more paladins, but they're rallying in the wrong direction. One Mason spins endlessly. Finally, will be free of his prison. Have you poked a beast? Have you poked the bear? Kasuga diving forward with his cataphracts, allowing the bloodlust to take advantage of himself, get the better of himself. Milestone striking from the south with an ocean of Lanifex and Panoptises. You've got nothing! You've got nothing, Toyota! Meanwhile, a big fight we missed elsewhere on the map as the Alcagalisks and the Tozgralisks both work together to see if they can uproot the Terran air. But there's still more Minotaurs, and I'm sure the rest of them are still good to go. Only 8 Alcagalisks is not really enough to break down this army, I think, but I could be wrong. Some Gazithalors were also made, but they'll be good versus the ground. Kasuga's going to have to come on back with his ground army to whatever degree it still exists. It looks like maybe Toyota has dealt with it. Milestone only poking for a brief moment before getting overwhelmed. The Alcagalisks might be all that's left there. Oh yeah, they're trying to sideswipe the incoming Minotaur flock. There it is. I knew he didn't kill all of that. That would have been shocking. And he's going to end up flying into Toyota's base, which is not really where you want to be with all of those paladins. The going gets tough, says the Heracles, as they slow the Alcagalisks. No, they're going to spread the paladin damage all over the Masons. Oh, the workers. That is some scary splash damage. All right, well, Milestone going to come back in from the bottom left. There is a Magnetar. Oh my god, Milestone! You just lost everything! Bonk! He had the bonk ready! I can't believe it. Phew. What a disaster. What an utter devastation of a man. That is what you get. Fair, to be honest. Yep, yeah. I think anything that results in the death of island Skytoss players is fair, no matter what it is. Even if they just take the island and then detonate. So we have the this really awkward position here where 15k minerals in the bank. Raynaril not able to spend any of his money because it's so gas dependent. Has he gotten his Azigrazins? He has. So he is getting max gas from the bases that he has, but he lost all of those gas mining north of his main. And of course all of the island bases. Looks like we are back in a spot where we're just kind of holding pattern right now. Kasuga has an enormous army and might be sweeping the west of the map.
paladin is ready.
Dude, we still really do need we need Three Crows POV in this game, but he must be sweaty. He must be getting sweaty over there.
Once more, sir. Structure warp concluded. The long night is over. Once more, sir. Don't dally. We're this close.
I can't look at Toyota's POV for too long without getting motion sickness. The Paladin stack, the Magnetars. Is it going to be enough? They're going to... Oh, they're definitely... Oh, God, the Paladins and the Magnetar Yamato. That's it. That's a wrap for Mr. Rainarel, it looks like. I don't think he's got nearly enough to deal with that. Oh, his Phalanxes will do some damage to the Paladins, at least. Dear Lord. Luciferius is pleased. Hello, Zibbit21. This is Cause Monarchy. It is a total conversion of StarCraft 1, turning it into a game with 50 unique units per race, plus all the new structures that we've added, and an absolute horde of new features. What we're playing right now is a custom game mode within Cause Monarchy that gives you access to all 3 races at once. So if 50 new units per race wasn't enough, now imagine trying to do everything at the same time. I think Milestone is having a bit of an issue there. Oh, Rainarel dropped him. We caught him in 4K. We caught him dropping him. Sabotage. Don't worry. It's okay. Milestone was playing as Island Protoss, Island Skytoss. It doesn't matter. He deserves every defeat that he can possibly get. So, devastation. But the Minotaurs are here. And they multi-target, unlike StarCraft 1 battlecruisers. So, that is pretty significant. The Ghidorah cores were deployed to see if they could maybe bring down the Paladins, but we just saw them all die, so that's not happening. And GG has to be called, as we're going to switch over to the POV of Toyota. Sandwiched, P. Another Yamato, big money Yamato, but this is going to be the point where Toyota's going to have to deal with all of them incoming Minotaurs, right? And oh my god, the 1 Ultra Core is going to do so much friendly fire. The Paladins just took down a Magnetar of their own. No additional Yamato. Okay, there's a couple more. So unlike StarCraft 1 battlecruisers, they don't have Yamato. The Minotaurs do not have Yamato. Instead, the Magnetars have it. And those are a much more gas-heavy unit that have a completely different style of play, where they pull units into them that they hit with their basic attack, and they have Yamato as an AoE attack. So it's very, very good at dealing with air stacks, right? And that's exactly what Kasuga up north has. Toyota, our Teal Terran, is going to have to contend with that. He's got lots of artisans, phantom mining in many bases. He's giving us some very nausea-inducing moves. Rainarel barely holding on here. So he's going to see about sticking around a little bit. And look at this. So here's the pull effect in play. But remember this, the friendly fire with the Paladins, he almost took down his own Magnetar again. Kasuga going to try to take that base. That is not long for this world. Jesus, Toyota, stop doing that. We can only take so much. All right, so Three Crows army is actually still in play. He's somehow put himself in the other side of the map. Kasuga has flanked Toyota. It's a horde of Paladins that deal splash damage with Magnetars that deal splash damage with their Yamato. And that is a wrap for Kasuga's air fleet. Ground supremacy. GG is called as Kasuga is wiped. Toyota takes the cake. Well, Rainarel is still trying to hold on here. What are his production structures? He's got 2 Tozgralisks left. Kasuga's going to have his base wiped posthumously, shall we say. There's 2 Tozgralisks at heckling 3 Crow. And yes, we are casting this through Discord stream right now, by the way. So bear with us on the technicals. Sorry about that. I don't know. This is kind of an epic game, though. Rainarel rebuilding. He does like himself a GG call and then still plays. You know, that's the FFA spirit. Most of these bases are depleted. They're going to give you way less minerals. But the gas does not deplete. It's like an inverse of StarCraft 1 normally. Unars do pretty good damage, so they might still be able to clean up. Yeah, actually, I think they would kill the Tozgralisks there. But he's going to fall back and let the Wardens finish the job. How 3 Crow took this base, I don't know. Nice little fadeaway shot to kill one of those Tozgralisks. Only the Axtoth Axis is actually still alive here for Raineril's tech, and he is just a Zerg player now. I don't think he has any workers of the other races. When you lose your starting town center, the Omnivale, you no longer have access to the other tech. Now, what is Toyota doing in the meanwhile? He's actually moved through Kasuga's base, and it looks like he's going to be mounting an attack onto Three Crow's army, using his artisans to mine distantly. His paladins will bring down a lot of those engrams, and remember, as he also heckles Raineril's last surviving base with a Durandal, it looks like he is going to go ahead and push on through. His paladins kind of splashing themselves a little bit. So Three Crow looks like he has already been... he's had some ill-fated moves, it looks like. So he's already struggling a little bit anyway, as it is. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. Very the tale of two men here with regards to all of the units on one screen and almost no units on the other. All right, well, Three Crow's last bastion on the west has fallen. It looks like Toyota is in prime position to take this game with Kasuga out, getting killed by all that splash damage. It's just Raineril in the bottom right. Do we have a stream from anybody else? No stream from any other players. Where are you, where you are, Lil Bro? There you go. I auto-corrected that sentence, but it has Lil Bro in it, so you can't really correct it. It's not happening. Ah, yeah, there you go, Green Eggs. I like that thinking. So I think based on what I'm seeing here, Milestone got dropped earlier by due to intermittent internet issues, courtesy of Raineril. We saw that. We caught that in 4K. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm checking the chat here in our Discord server real quick. Yeah, Kasuga mentioning he got bopped. I don't see anything from Milestone. I don't know if he just had like an internet trouble or what. But anyway, the whole bottom is clear. It's just Three Crow with one base somewhere versus and Raineril. It's like two cockroaches versus Toyota. XD. XD indeed. All right, well, he's using Yamato on everything in one spot, so that's a bit of a waste of energy, but it does regenerate pretty fast in Cosmo. Oh my god. Good luck, dude. All right, he's going to try to take it from a different angle. No, he deselected it. He doesn't realize. The Gosvelots are in! The Gosvelots are going to try to kill him. Advanced workers, cannoli style. One of the Magnetars is killed by static defense. It is an absolute travesty. Raineril does have forces in the top right, but I think there's like an artisan over there or something. I don't know what's over there. Oh no, the Durandal is gonna kill his hatch in the bottom. That's sad. Let's check it. Let's check it out from his POV because he sees Three Crow warping something in on that side as well. What an insane round, honestly. What a very bizarre game. Yeah, Yamato those workers. That's like Yamatoing to establish dominance at that point. Here's the Durandals. Toyota found them. I'm pretty sure there's a Toyota unit up there in the top right. Oh no, I guess he moved it further out to the top right, so... There was something over there. It might be like a worker or something. Okay. Yeah, the Hydrith then. That'll help. Toyota's probably starting to eat pancakes again, and he's like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna... He was making pancakes before he joined the first FFA, so... Alright. Raineril's gonna call GG for reals now. No. The show just begun. Yeah, the show where I blow my own shit up. Oh, Toyota. Now that's pretty juicy. No, the Magnetars, they're so low now. Well, Raineril left already, so that's a wrap there. Hey, look, he found Three Crow as well. Raineril ends up taking third place in the FFA, with Toyota taking first, and Three Crow barely surviving with all of his wardens, long enough to clinch second. But I think this is a wrap, my friends. He's got a lot of wardens, at least. GG, LOL. Toyota had to contain his excitement. GG. He wins. He is our FFA champion. I'm so proud of the man. Ooh, fireworks. Dude, look at all these paladins. Evapo toss. What? The world may never know. Wow, what a game. So what happened between Three Crow and Milestone earlier? What was that?
I pushed. We were fighting back and forth.
Yeah. I figured something like that happened.
I just started building Star Sovereigns, and I posted log in the issues. It crashed when I tried to build an aquifer.
Yeah, that's like a very rare, but it has happened before. I don't know what causes that.
Yeah. But GG.
All right. GG's. I mean, you clearly, you must. I don't know how you would have come back to the point where you beat Three Crow, so I don't know what was going on there. Kasuga got real close to winning, but then the Paladins were ready. Oh.
Yeah.
He should have base traded, to be honest. He could have floated to the islands and then...
Yeah, he already lost his
traded
island, all the Tozgralisks and all the what do you call it? The mutas that Rainarel had. So that was a lot. That was a fucking roller coaster of a free for all. I'll tell you that.
Should have known like a team game, unless we're done.
Yeah, I got some more time. Let's see. It's 6 o'clock, so yeah. Let me host up like a team FFA, and we'll go from there.
I'll do one more, and then I'm gonna be dinner man.
Yeah, you got to be dinner man in advance
vital.
of D&D, dude. You can't be late again.
That's right.
This is the last one before Alexander has to go. We have to wrap up so many plot points.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the audio off again. Okay, so we have our teams already assembled. Well, we need more Team FFA maps, otherwise this is the default. Yeah, not with a witness mode. So I was thinking about this actually, guys, right? If everybody streams their POV, I could do a cast of an 8-player game just from everybody else's Discord POV. I wouldn't have to be in the lobby. So we might do that next Weekend War. That might be a thing. Toyota got owned. Lamac 9000. I don't know who that is. Who that? That might be SGZZZ. It's probably one of our newer players. Yeah, he doesn't exist. There is no Lamac, so... Yeah, well, we already have grass, so... Alright, well, listen, if you don't... Yeah, AOT takes his place. Alright, that's fine. Listen, I'm all for new players playing in their first Weekend War or whatever. That's very cool. But if you don't identify yourself, you're not going to play. Simple as. That's right. All right, boys. We are back at it again with at least one more game. We'll see what happens here. We got R. All right, let's go. Let's go. Team FFA. It's going to be an interesting time. All right, boys. We have a classic 2v2v2 coming at you here. 3Crow in the top left is our Black Terran, Jet Black Terran. Unfortunately for 3Crow, he was AFK for a moment. In the bottom left, we have the Shambler. Bottom left of the top left team, we have the Shambler. He is our red Protoss. In the top right, we have Milestone as the forest green Zerg, teamed up with the Japanese Violet Zerg of Art of Turtle. And in the bottom right, we have Grass Eater as the Magma Zerg, and Rainaril as the Dark Sapphire Terran. So this is TP versus ZZ versus ZT. We'll see what the comms are like for this game. We got double stockade coming for 3Crow. It's interesting he's playing Terran. He's normally been a Protoss player, but he's going to double gateway here with his buddy Shambler. Pool Larvos coming for Grass as the Fulcrum gets assembled. Pretty fast here for Rainaril. And I think overall, like, the Hydrith Den coming up here for Mountain means that we're probably going to see him be a little bit more aggressive in the early game to cover AOT's greed. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting from looking at this matchup so far. Looking at what's happening in the bottom right, we have a couple of Mavericks from Rainaril. I wonder what he's going the Fulcrum for. He did leave room for an add-on, so it could be a fast Palladium. Maybe try to lock things down with an early Phalanx. Second Larvos complete for AOT. No tech structure yet. Playing the hit-em-up style. I guess this could actually be hit-em-up, by the way. I don't know if AOT does Art of Quaz. But he's making an Ovoleth early. That is an AOT move, so I'm relieved. I don't think that there's fraudery happening. This is the No Frauds Club. You cannot fraudulently identify. First Hydras are on the way, but actually that Kagra might end up dying. He's going to need to call for help from his buddy. AOT, help him! He's gonna lose a Kagra to a Zeth! No! Oh my god, I don't think Grass Eater realized that that was happening in the first place, so he narrowly misses out an opportunity to kill a Kagrant. Pretty fast expansion here for the Shambler, while the Bio Ball of 3Crow ends up protecting things. The Ovoleth allows for forward defenses for the Zerg player as he carries over his Kagrant onto the ramp. You can transport structures in Cosmonarchy, so that definitely has some implications. Unfortunately for AOT, his Ovoleth is spotted and destroyed. So at least he scouts his position opposite to him. But the bottom right remains an enigma for now. Shambler's Scribe got run out there by the Rillilisks, or the Rillarokors, and then killed by the Mavericks. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Shambler. There we go. Now I'll get one. What did he do? What did Shambler do? Oh boy, so I think Shambler's playing with his speakers on, so he's just leaking all of his audio. I can't believe it. Matrix, double... Oh, Warden Pylon, okay. Just setting up some static defense. Slowly mining from the extra base over here. I got 3. Yeah. We'll see if that actually happens. He always has this luck in FFA. I really feel like there's some system-specific issue. I wonder if he's playing it on Linux or something. But we have Lucy play on Linux, and he doesn't get this issue either. So, that being said, there's like a billion Linuxes, so you never know. All right. Well, at least Shambler is helpfully giving his allies info. If they can recognize unit responses, they know that he has Hierophants out. Because he is leaking his audio into the Discord call. I am here to inform you of this very important information. So the Khazitra here is going to help defend from the attacks down there. No, never mind. I thought Milestone was communicating something, but he's speaking in Swedish, which is not a real language. Double hatch here for AOT. Trying to set up more static defense, it looks like, in the ramp here. And transferring more workers to that little treasury base. Grass Eater grabbing a ski backed, as is natural. A couple of Zeths reveal the position there. 3 Crow pushing out. Structures as walls is the Shambler's specialty. Looks like it'll be a dual assault. But 3 Crow's actually kind of... He's getting beaten back a little bit. And Shambler accosts him. Atlas already on the way here for 3 Crow. Just on the 1 base, by the way. Despite his Cyprian expenditures. Grass adding more static defense. And... No, I thought maybe there would be more static defense, but... It's a Khazitra to empower all of the sprites. There's no Larvosk additions. Palladium's coming out for Raynaril as he adds yet more power to his arsenal. Well, Shambler going to take a 3rd base, and he only has the 3 harvesters over there. See what else Grass wants to end up doing. He's kind of surveying his base, surveying his options here. Oh, he's adding more static defense. For now. Unfortunately, his 3rd base there is going to need to be canceled by Shambler's army. Devastated. 3 Crow is going to come back up a little bit. They might be looking to take 12 o'clock. There's the Dracodon over there. Six o'clock has been taken by Raynaril, so there is that. Oh, look at that. Milestone is going to go ahead and take that base, but he is sadly swatted away. Atlas coming up for Raynaril. Got a good defensive phalanx, can definitely use the Khazitras for that as well, so... Should be hard to break the bottom right team. And tier 2 coming for AOT. All right. Maybe he didn't get convinced enough by the Dracodon last time. He's like, maybe it'll be not there anymore. Now, Grass has a pretty big force of units kind of sharking around right now. Once Zethercore gets eaten up. He'll clear the Dracodon over here that he can probably barely see with a static D. Yeah, as of right now, everything's kind of quiet, right? We've got AOT taking another base. That's going to get... his natural is going to get surprised a little bit here by Grass Eater. He ignores the workers and he just goes straight for the hatch. Zeth Hydra, very, very good at killing armored targets. Ends up falling back as soon as the Milestone Hydras kind of dissuade him. All right, the Atlas is complete. We'll see what Raineril wants to do. 22 Droleths just got queued up for Milestone. He is greeding hard to saturate his extra base. Keeping up on the macro. A couple of Raineril Hurricanes are going to cause a little bit of trouble for AOT, who's going to presumably grab these Lakes that he's got. Yep, there they go. He might still end up losing the hatch, though. Oh, never mind. Oh, poor Raineril. Eaten for breakfast. Oh my god. That wasn't much better. An absolute metric ton of production structures and static defense have been erected as Shambler takes more bases. This is quickly becoming a duel between the top teams, it looks like. Raineril does have some endgame tier stuff, but... Oh, Shambler's actually making Mind Tyrants, and 3Crow's going to go ahead and take a third base, but it's coming at the same time, on location, Milestone taking tier 2 and pushing up to 12 o'clock. The Dragon... Oh, dear. I don't think those units are going to be long for this world. But hey, that Ministry is not long for this world either. No cancel. 3Crow probably could have used those minerals. Now, what does Raineril want to do? I mean, he's very much like... He does not have a big army. So he's going to end up losing a lot of power over here. His starports are not going to get too much value there. Shambler trying to stop the lag. I don't know if that's going to be a good way to do it. All right, well, that's a squashed base almost immediately. Shambler will do us the service of eliminating the hopes and dreams of the bottom team. AOT hasn't saturated his lower base yet, but he is using advanced workers. Oh, there's a stacked Vespine Ridge on top of that Eskagant. Shambler, you goober. I wonder if that's mirrored. No, doesn't look like it. Ancestral Archives Prostration Stage, the Crucible empowering mantles to produce some of those advanced Terran units a little bit faster. Though they're not currently making anything just yet. The Mind Tyrant has not selected a Malefactor. Maybe that will change. Oh yes, do visit Pronogo's Coffee page. It's a great way to support the game. AOT mostly just has Zorius right now, but the Hydra-backed Izira Corps army that Milestone has assembled could potentially be pretty deadly if leveraged in the right way. 12 o'clock was taken but not saturated. Here comes the big engagement with Zorius and everything. Shambler coming in from the south at the same time, going to be finishing the job on those Lakes that got a lot of value nonetheless. And will they be able to break through 3Crow's army? It doesn't look like the answer is yes. He's just got too much power with those Cataphracts. Zorius trying to fight back over here. I think they might be able to rout Shambler's army. The one Zealot cleaning house over there, making sure no additional expansion attempts can be had. Yeah, the reinforcements from Shambler are going to be enough to rout AOT. A lot of static defense being evolved over here to hold back 3Crow should he push forward. But right now, wisely, he is biding his time. Waiting. Still no Mind Tyrant with this army. Okay, now we see there is an Acantor that has been the Malefactor, has been the controller. So when Malefactor units kill enemies, they steal control of them, they tyrannize them. Tyrannized units take more damage. So it's not an entire swing in supply. Protathalors and Bactylisks are coming to try to hold back this force, but there's no front line here. Needs to use those Protathalors to snipe the Tyrant or maybe snipe the Acantors. This looks like a really powerful army and a difficult one to push back. We have the Scorchriths here, but they are also going to be overwhelmed by the Cataphracts. We're casually talking technicals while Art of Turtle and Milestone are getting absolutely run over by the combined arms of Three Crow and the Shambler. And courtesy of the help of the Shambler, Three Crow will get his Weekend War birthday bash, belated birthday win. Honestly, Three Crow's army was pretty scary too. An impressive gathering, as Quarter would say. GG has to be called. AOT and Milestone are routed. AOT is actually technically staying in the game, and I guess the same is true of Milestone. Neither of them have left. Oh, they're killing each other's stuff. Well, the Hatcherosk, once that goes down, Milestone won't have any production, and that'll be it for their team. So. There will be one final glorious push to clear out Raineril's leftovers, decorations. Hey, at least the Khaz'trith was still empowering the army for him, so that helps. Problem is, when they're neutral, they empower everything. Devastation has struck. Yeah, if you leave Shambler alone, he's able to take some pretty good bases. Plus, this is his map, so, you know. Treasuries do not count. I guess maybe the defeat triggers are wrong because they definitely don't have any more stuff, so I don't know why they're still in the game technically, but once this Ministry and Fulcrum go down, and Quarry, that'll be a wrap. Which one stays alive the longest? I guess the Quarry, huh? And that, my friends, is a wrap. GG's. There's a 3v3 lobby up. It'll be my last one of the Weekend War. All right. Enjoy dinner, Three Crow. GG's. Glad you got your belated birthday win in a Weekend War. Hell yeah. Ah. My friends, we are gathered here today on Weekend War for our final match of the stream, and it is a 3v3 on a new map that I made called Contract of Pain. A sufficiently edgy title for sufficiently edgy players. JK, the players are epic. So, we have Grass Eater in the bottom left area, or what have you, as the Maroon Zerg. There you go. And we have Art of Turtle playing as Protoss. He played random. He is in the bottom left, and this is Art of Turtle, the, what would you say, the Japanese Violet Protoss. There you go. I was trying to remember this color. Shambler is the White Terran, and that is our Team 1. We've got Sausage Lord up here at the 12 o'clock position. I guess you could call it the 1 o'clock position. He is our, I'm just going to say green, but it's Vine Green, of course. I knew it. Green Zerg. Vine Green Zerg. And Raynaril is our Dark Sapphire Terran, and the carry hit him up. He is in the mid-right, and is this Vivid Orange? Vivid Orange. Yes, okay. There you go. I had to think about that one. So, Raynaril's already talking a little bit about how this map works. Shambler's going to go ahead and for a scout. There's a Monument of Sin in the middle of the map, and it is where you can open that up to have an extra passageway in the middle. These side disruptors block these ramps, and they will burn down. So that is fine for now. These Atlases also burn down a little bit earlier, and they allow passageways into the top left and the bottom right, which does link back up to where Shambler and Sausage Lord are. So that's the lay of the land. Got a high ground double base up here in the top right or the bottom left. Double lattice here that Shambler has scouted. The new simulacrum is revealed. Courtesy of Delta Catamus. Very cool. We'll be working on the rendering out a little bit out. Falk Star Pad from Raynaril, indeed. Shambler piping in with the comms. We love to hear it, or see it, read it in this case. And Sausage Lord has a Hydra's Den already here, and he's also going to be able to drill and kill Shambler's Mason. Well, I say that, but the Vulture will finish the job. That's silly. So they say expect a drop. You can use the Star Pad in different ways. We'll see if that ends up happening. A couple Mavericks guarding the ramp that is the most forward, obvious pathway into where the Shambler is. There is another ramp over here that you can already see Grass Eater is thinking about. He's going to send his Zethra cores, and it looks like he's going to be aiming for Sausage Lord. There is a ramp that goes directly to him. That's the counter ramp to where these Mavericks were. And they are going to... See, Shambler's going to stim some Mavericks over here. Gotta watch out, though. He loses one. Raynaril's reaction time, not the best. A couple of mines are going to be procced down here, and that might be a big opportunity. Meanwhile, oh boy, Sausage Lord has almost no workers, and he is getting torn asunder by those Zethra cores. He already was very low eco. Now, he's really going to be feeling the pain. using his own military at the very least to stem the tide. Ow, he says. Zethracor's, he's got 8 of them, kind of still roving about. Oh man, there's a couple of wraiths here, so Grass Eater shouldn't be too effective at dealing with this, but he needs to be. You need to drill those Masons if he can. Hit the stop order on him so they kind of decollide those Zethacors and stop him from getting too much damage. Grass Eater being super, super efficient. The Zethacor is getting way more damage than they ought to have done there. That is what, 6 dead Masons? That is big. Sausage Lord has almost no money in the bank, so it is going to be all down to Hit 'em Up, who takes his natural. Remember, the side disruptor will burn down. I think it's like around 6 minutes almost. So we're still about a minute or 2 away from that happening. K-Grint, Gas Cap, Grass Eater just doing his best. Art of Turtle flying in with a bunch of vassals. That is something that Hit 'em Up can deal with using his idols. But will he be aware of it in the interim? He's actually going to move away from the Monument of Sin that he was just damaging. He might catch the tail end of the vassals. He's got some manifolds out there. Those are not going to deal splash damage. But the Warden is not done yet. He's immediately going to cycle back his units, courtesy of the vassals being revealed. I think this is going to be an unceremonious execution of his workers now. The Warden takes the initial flak. No worker deaths have happened just yet. That's going to change pretty soon, I think, as one of them will go down. But the Cyclops are here to deal with that. Now, really what Hit 'em Up should do is, send his workers back. His idols are in the position. We've got more Zethacors on the way. And look at this, Sausage Lord trying to help out. But really, he needed to defend himself from the follow-up attack from Grass Eater, who is going to descend upon him. And that's probably going to be a wrap for our Vine Green Zerg. Idols clearing out a lot of the vassals, meanwhile. Good casualties there, but AOT has done the job. The Drollet's kind of running around. They need to survive as best they can, but this is going to knock Sausage Lord even further back down. Honestly, he doesn't lose as many workers as I thought he would. I thought that was just going to be a knockout punch. No wraiths or anything available here for Raynarel to defend himself easily. Just for Zethacors, shouldn't really be able to get too much damage. They've already killed 1 Mason, and I like using the Wraiths here instead of... Oh, it still kills a Mason. Instead of using the Cyclops because of the splash damage, right? Single Shambler Maverick found his way up. Yep, the ramp is now open. So I guess it was closer to 5 minutes that it burns down. Only now are the bottom left team even thinking about taking an expansion. Obviously, Shambler has his, but Grass Eater taking his Expo. The Protoss thinking about this bottom left base. I guess he's making Artisans, so there is that. It's Artisan Vassal right now. He's now adding some idols into the mix to help deal with the Wraiths. It's definitely fair to say that there's a disadvantage for the upper team right now. Depending on where Hit 'em Up sends this army, we might be able to see him surprise Shambler. If he doesn't go up the ramp, if instead he comes up here and wraps around, that would be a really big move. Does he know that that's an option available to him, though? That's the question. Adds a Matrix there. The Wraiths kind of come in looking for a snack. They don't disrupt the expansion attempt there. Going after 1 Larvosk, it's not a bad idea, but he does end up losing 3 Wraiths for it. So now only down to 4. It's going to take a lot longer to kill workers, and not really going to be able to do it with the Spraiths anyway. Hydra Push, going to be earmarked for Sausage Lord. At least there's plenty of Wraiths here and Cyclops that can help. The Vassal's kind of moving around here, sharking, seeing what they can find. Wraiths confirming nothing in the bottom left. That should help quiet their fears a little bit. They know that they're not so far behind, economically speaking. The Watchdogs are going to clean house over here. Some Vestry add-ons being sighted. No sighting of Shambler's Tier 2. And this Hydra Force is going to be really powerful, but Grass Eater does come right into the Cyclops, right? So this is an opportunity here for the top team to not be bled dry as much as we thought. Only a couple of Iziricars. Shambler saying good job to his team as they are wreaking havoc. The Sausage Lord is going to try to stand tall over here, but I don't know that it's going to work out too well. His Iziricars are doing really nicely into those vassals, though. Has to be said. Unfortunately, Raynarel is basically out of workers. Down to 6. His star pads are probably not long for this world, and he doesn't have the greatest bank. Hit 'em Up trying to put out every fire he possibly can. Shambler's going to come for him before the static defense is ready, it looks like. Although, it is pretty close. He stims up preemptively. If he gets a little bit sidetracked on the workers, they can just be pulled away into safety as the static defense finishes up. But I'm not sure it's going to quite be enough. The Matrix getting focused down immediately. No extra defenses there. And the Mavericks just burst everything down. Things going pretty bad here for our Protoss. Little Iziricor drop. Kind of sabotaging Grass Eater a little bit. I was wondering where some extra Iziricors went for Sausage Lord. Now we know he can step to these vassals. In fact, he should. A rare little glimmer of hope, potentially, for our top team. But he scoops them up instead, and they just die. not going to end up being the best move. Now here comes the big Robo army that Hit 'em Up has made, and this counterpunch can be deadly. There are a couple of phalanxes over here. Adding more of them, he's definitely going to be insulated versus a counterattack if it comes through the way of the ramp. Again, Hit 'em Up salvation would lie in wrapping around the bottom and punching through the Shambler, because right now Shambler hasn't done too much. Like, he did just sabotage the natural. Very, very good move. But up until that point, Shambler hadn't done a ton, right? Instead, Shambler had mostly been investing in the future, while the rest of his teammates kind of carried him through those early game stages. The one Ovaleth over here. No! No, Rainarel, you're sabotaging your ally with the Cyclops. Hit 'em Up's like, what the hell? Now, he is going to go ahead and rally out here, but Shambler already relocated his phalanxes. Idols from Mr. Art of Turtle are also going to assist here. That combined arms will be enough to cancel the attack from Hit 'em Up. Avaleth is very, very wounded. Would die to a stiff breeze. Some watchful Zetricors, rather, occupying things over there. A couple of simulacrums do get split. 4 rogue galleries spotted by this wounded Avaleth. Good comms from Grass as he takes double expansion. AOT grabbing a third. Idle Scribes. He'll see them eventually. He's actually added his own set of rogue galleries, but it doesn't look like he's leveraged them into anything. And Shambler taking a third base. So Hit 'em Up's army is still pretty solid. Like, he shouldn't die to any push. But if he doesn't get a lot of value from the rogue galleries, it's one of those things that hurts your ability to have any staying power here. Rainarel and Sausage Lord have taken the top right shared base between them, and Rainarel is going to go ahead, or Sausage Lord rather, is going to go ahead and take the natural. So he'll be up to an okay eco. Rainarel never fully recovered from that attack. And I guess you could say the same about Sausage Lord, actually. Right now, they need like another 5 minutes of delayed action with no losses to be able to compete. And at that point, the bottom team would just outstrip them, right? Need to hit 'em up. Well, that is a solid plan there from Grass Eater. We'll see if the rest of them also feel that way. As the non-unison in the middle of the map has been destroyed, Grass Eater will open up a pathway into the enemy forces. Some static defense being warped in a little bit further advanced for the natural coverage, but he's already on 3 bases, right? Sausage Lord Zavaleth just providing some detection and overwatch. A couple of Kabbalists are going to slip the net here. Ajusa Brood War, thank you very much for the 16 homie raid. We're watching a 3v3 in Cosmonarchy right about now. Kabbalists just got scouted. They have that Blink Strike. Sausage Lord's Droleth Scout getting caught pretty early on. Where are these Kabbalists going for? The alarm was sounded. An Anseal for detection as well. Plenty of advanced mech coming out here, but a Durandal gets caught by those Wardens, so Shambler being a little bit inopportune. And now the Kabbalists are going to go ahead and clear out some of Art of Turtle's economy. The combined army of the bottom team is very, very powerful, but can they step to the charlatan-infused Robo army that Hit 'em Up has? I don't know. The Phalanxes are going to do a good number on some of these units. Oh, we've got the Hydras trying to be coming up over there, but Sausage Lord's got one Lakizalisk, heroically preventing it, the Lurker equivalent. You could just defeat it, but Grass Eater doesn't know that, so this team might be bungling it a little bit here. All of the Kabbalists, they've even killed an Aquifer, dude. They are absolutely wrecking havoc back in their base. Hit 'em Up falls back, cedes control of the ramp. He's hoping his allies might be able to help him out, buy him a little time as the Hydras start to come in. But this is where coordination really matters. You're fighting with 3 players, but is it going to be enough? The Charlatans are cloning so much damage for Hit 'em Up as he heroically tries to 1 versus 3 this army. Shambler's Phalanx has been deployed. It should be enough to continue pushing Hit 'em Up back. Does he have enough behind this? Does he have any help behind this? Iziracors come in to slow down the reinforcements. They might secure a kill on a Durandal. Indeed, they do. Some Lakids from Sausage Lord. They're going to try to help out as well, but the Hydras are pushing in towards Rainarel's main base, and I think the early damage that they dealt is going to be enough, even depowering the rogue galleries there as the Hydras feast upon Rainarel's soon-to-be corpse. The Fulcrum's not able to come online fast enough to make any phalanxes to assist. But you know, Hit 'em Up is still doing his best. He's going to go ahead and clear out the forces trying to heckle his Crucible. Oh no! Art of Turtle successfully killing that. Meanwhile, the Hydra's making it all the way to the top right. They're killing some of the workers, but Sausage Lord responding quite well overall. His Lake is continuing to be a problem for the bottom team. Hit 'em Up trying to hold on while Art of Turtle makes those very, very necessary witnesses. The Hydra snipe a Circuit. I don't think that's going to be enough. These units are on a move command. They need to attack, and they will overwhelm. Somehow, the top team is held, even though they've got enemies on their gates. Well, the Fulcrum will be remade, but that Palladium is probably going to burn down. The one Warden here, as the Hydras try to get a little bit of value, the Scribes will be pulled, Neblime style, see if they can make something happen, but our Leviathan is under duress right now. He needs to just pull those workers and send them to another base for the time being. He has resaturated, adding a ton of extra static defense structures, keeping his money as down as he can, putting out fire after fire, multiple Ardent Authorities. If he can survive long enough to actually get that up, then that would be something. What's the reaction from the rest of the team? AOT was hindered by losing that base. He's retaking it now. I guess the Kabbalists were cleaned up eventually. I'm not sure which base they ended up going to. Shambler adding insult to injury, trying to turn the screws, using his Phalanxes and his Cataphracts to range down those static defense structures. What's the reaction? Rainerill's Soul Goliath and the Lake is from Sausage Lord. It's an impressive offering. We still don't have any detection. No, there is an Ovolith here from Grass Eater. Some Phalanxes from Rainerell to try to prevent the further push, but at this point, so much infrastructure has been lost. Hit 'em Up cannot field an army. He hardly has any production facilities, and the Lakizilisks have finally been neutered, courtesy of the detection. We got witnesses. We got an Ovolith. Plenty here to stop that attack from really being able to be rebuffed. Now, this depleted base, bereft of workers, is going to be overwhelmed. Hit 'em Up falling back. He'll see a Vassal over here guarding it as he tries to take a Desperation expansion. He's got hardly any units left. A single round of a Cantors is up. But is it going to be enough to deal with the Phalanxes? I think not. Now it comes down to target selection. Hit 'em Up has no real opportunity to do anything other than delay. Maybe the rest of his team can get some kind of army up, acting as a little bit of the noob shepherd, but he has been outdone and outgunned, I think. Those Phalanxes are deploying in a rough spot here, actually, for the Shambler. He's going to end up losing a lot of HP on them, but 3 of them endure, and at this point, they are all the way up, and the Cataphracts are going to help seal the deal. Do we have another round? It's just a Cantors coming. Maybe it'll be enough. Again, the Hydras from Sausage Lord, the Vultures as well. Desperation from Rainerell just needs to get anything down. Trying to put the mines down to lock them down, but that's not going to be happening. The workers are now being heckled. There's so many of them in this base. They haven't been able to be transferred out. The SimCity blocking the Acantors from moving forward to help, as the walkers from the Shambler are more than enough to deal with everything that Hit 'em Up can throw at him. Static defense, who cares? I'm coming at you from a different angle. At least this Nexus has finished, and nobody's heckled it just yet. That would be the final nail in the coffin, but I think it's just a matter of time. Hit 'em Up, no GG. And that leaves Sausage Lord and Rainerell all in a very alone state. Hey, he took the liberty of setting this Nexus up, and when you're defeated, your units go to neutral, and then your allies or your enemies could use them. So it would be pretty funny if we see Shambler send a bunch of Masons down there and start harvesting. But GG is exchanged. Rainerell is going to call it. Looks like Sausage Lord and Rainerell were not able to take advantage of it. There will be one final move from our Zerg player, just to use some of his epic units. You know, he's got the Gorgorcores out. They deal splash damage. Flying Ultralisks, affectionately titled. But it's not going to be enough versus the Cataphracts. Dude, some of these Cataphracts have a ridiculous number of kills as well. It's like hundreds of kills, like at least over, 150 kills or something like that. GG, well played. And that's the end of our 3v3. I'm glad we got a little bit of action on this map. So that was pretty cool. I'm a fan of getting to see the map that I just made a little while ago be played. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All right. That's probably a pretty good time to end the whole broadcast on. Thanks again for the raid earlier. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy seeing what you're seeing in Cosmonarchy. It's a very cool, very epic time.